Okay, we got people in. Sorry, guys, I was in my email. And this light looks really weird. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm going to change the lighting. Hang on. It looks too dark. That's a little better. That's a little better. I guess that's all right. You guys can all see me, right? Hopefully there's no one on any other channel. All right, let's see who's in the house here. I got Sammy Boy, Cole. Good evening, Mr. Harzile. Lena. What's up, girl? Michael, Derek, Chris. Natsuka, good evening. Steph, good evening. SoCal Ape. Leon, KL. DGS. I think it was your comment. I almost put in my video tonight. What's up, Emerald Jeff Hammer? Brancham, what's up? Chad, good evening. Let's see. Hammer, long time no see, man. All right. Let me see 1 second here. I gotta get Tony on here. Shirley, good evening. Ron, Carl, Debbie. Hut do. Okay, I just gotta go into my YouTube for 1 second. I always forget to do this, so I'm making sure I do it tonight. Always forget to do this step. That light still looks a little dark. Okie dokie. All right. Boom. We're in business. And I guess that's it. Okay. I'm back. All right, I'm going to bring Tony on. I need someone to help talk.
Oh, man, my lighting's shit here.
I'm really dark, and you're extremely lit up. You're making up for my darkness, I guess.
Let me see if I can fix this a little bit.
Carla, good evening from Alabama. Chris, good evening. Susan. Yeah, I'm excited to see what GME's earnings are tomorrow. Mass is in session. Even Steven, good evening. Dufresne Guide Services, were you the one that sent me a comment talking about the price going down? Was that you? I'm getting Tony DD in the comments. Now, I was able to catch Tony's videos in between my upload and us coming on. So I guess we see eye to eye on some things, not everything. So Tony, do you want to give your breakdown, a breakdown of your breakdown? What are your thoughts right now after the day's gone on and everything that has come in, or that you've heard today? Freedom, Kalimeta.
So yeah, I've had, since the time that I made my video this morning, I've had a chance to view a few other people's videos and thoughts on it, and I also got to join in with Froggy and Cam and Pantheon briefly this afternoon and hear some of their thoughts on it too. So I'm still kind of like a mixed bag. Like, I can see some potential benefit for owning a gold mine, but I can also see the conspiracy theory that people are worried about Mudrick, and maybe like, hey, you owe us a favor, come throw some money and bring the apes, we need liquidity. I'm going to take the wait and see attitude. I mean, clearly, if they find gold in any measurable amount that they can extract in the future, this thing could pay off in spades. But my due diligence still kind of is where I was this morning when I made that video, is that we're a long way off from any sort of meaningful revenue out of that gold mine. So this is kind of like a yawner for the moment in my eyes. I'm willing to be convinced, like I said in my video, I'm not a gold expert. I've owned gold ETFs before. I don't regularly trade in gold. I don't claim to be a gold mining company expert, but this was a company in trouble. And they came in and rescued them at the last minute. I mean, Adam even alluded to that, right? They had some liquidity issues and they needed a cash injection. And then, just like we expected, they started saying, "Hey, the price is starting to run up, and now we're going to offer even more shares and raise even more money." It's not the ideal situation. So I am not buying the stock. I'm not recommending it to anyone. It might be a good play. I mean, you do what you want. It's not my type of stock.
Yeah.
But it could be good for AMC a few years down the road if you're able to bring out all of that gold and silver and you only spent 20 million to get 27 million to get 22% plus some warrants, that's a pretty good deal down the road, way down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard a Trey video where he was saying that it could be a hedge against inflation, and that I kind of asked Cam and Pantheon their thoughts on that, because maybe it seemed like maybe they had traded more gold than me. And my thought, just out of the gate, again, not being an expert, it's just my opinion, is that if you have gold in the ground, that's almost impossible to be an inflation hedge. You got to have something that you can be selling in the market at the moment to capture what's going on in the market. Something
tangible, right?
Yeah, that's my thoughts. Convince me otherwise. I'm welcome to have other guests in and talk about it, but that's where I'm at.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with you on that point. It 100%, because you're not hedging against inflation right now with some paperwork in a mine and some money invested into the company. Now I know you got a chance to look over some of the Reddit. Like I said in the video tonight, I did speak with a couple of people briefly. We just didn't go in depth about the situation. And I went to that the Reddit forum now, the X Reddit forum, just to go look and see, what were they talking about. And most of the posts were from about a year ago. And I think that I said to you, I remember that they were pumping this as a penny stock, that someone was being promoted to pump it. And it seems like they made a bunch of money, and seems like they made a bunch of money on it, and then it came back down again. And I saw a lot of people sus about, Hycroft as a company. And now when you add Mudrick to the picture, you do wonder, was he going out to Nevada with the intention of doing this? Was this something, I mean, it's got to be planned, right? You don't just spring this on Adam Aron last minute. They know each other for a long time. What do you think?
Did you see there was a news article that said, I forget the dude's first name, Mudrick, and called Adam Aron up and said, "Hey, you need to come out and check out our mine." There was an article that
Jason Mudrick.
Yeah, there was an article I read today that said Jason Mudrick called Adam Aron up and said, "We need you to come out and look at this mine." This was no accident. This was a planned thing. And I think Mudrick was looking at being down 90% on their investment and about to lose it all. And they were reaching out for a Hail Mary. "Hey, you owe us a favor." But I also don't think Adam Aron is selling the company down the river. There is some potential long-term benefit for AMC, and the amount of money that they ponied up was a pittance compared to what they have in the bank. So I'm not upset about it, but it's not the end all be all that it was made out to be on Twitter yesterday morning. And I saw people saying, "I just went out and bought 20,000 shares like as soon as the news hit." What the hell are you doing?
Dude,
that was going through my mind. Hey, do whatever you want. But when I read that, I was like, really? You just bought 20,000 shares. You don't even know anything about it.
About the company. Yeah, even with a 24-hour head start going on to my video tonight, I didn't have a great knowledge about the company, and I spent hours looking into it. Stephanie is saying Citadel owns 5% of Mudrick, right? And Mudrick owns what, 40% of Hycroft? So if you break that down in percentages, Citadel owns almost none of Hycroft, right? Is that the connection we're trying to make? Citadel owns 5% of Mudrick. Mudrick owns 40% of Hycroft. So how much does Citadel own of Hycroft, right? Is that what we're trying to get to? So it's a very small number.
Yeah.
And the amount that Aron spent, like Tony said, is a drop in the bucket. We're talking about, $27.9 million total, right? $1.19 a share. It's 1.5% of the total liquidity that they have on hand right now. I think I heard in your video you said 1.6 billion. I'm assuming that was taken off we were taking some things off of there, right?
I got 1.6 billion. That number was in the latest annual report. It was 1.8, right? But
Yep.
what I read in the latest annual report was they were down to 1.6 now.
Okay. Do you mind if I bring on AB? I want to get his thoughts on it real quick.
No. And
Okay.
while you're bringing Pantheon's in, is that who you're bringing, Pantheon?
I'm bringing AB on, and if Pantheon, you want to come on, just give me a wave. I tried to hit you up right before we came on. Well, maybe about an hour ago, I guess.
Also, I saw someone in the chat ask earlier, and I don't want to speak for Kim, but someone asked in the chat a few minutes ago, hey, was that dude from Canada that's on Twitter that said he called Aron up, was that legit? Kim said this morning, this is CS Wolfpack 101. Sorry, I always butcher his name because it's so
CS Trades
long.
101.
CS Trades 101 Wolfpack. He was the one that said that on Froggy Styles live stream, and that was a joke.
Okay.
So just to clear that up early on in this discussion, and I'm sure it'll come up in a question again, but for the gentleman that asked.
Good to know.
Also, if you were in this mining company prior to the squeeze, good on you. I mean, if you got in sub $1, you're in good shape, right?
Yeah, if you caught the top.
I'm not buying it at $1.50 or $2. You can forget about that.
Yep, agreed. Okay, I'm gonna bring on AB and let him introduce himself, and then I'm going to jump over to send Pantheon a link. And Tony, can you hold the fort down while I do that real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go 3 here with Pantheon with AB. AB, there you go. Let me see if I can switch you over. Hold on, man. Yeah, I can put you here. There you go. All right, now I'm gonna bow out for 1 sec. AB, introduce yourself to the channel, and I'm gonna let you guys talk for a sec.
All right, can you guys hear me well?
We can. Yep.
All right. Well, good evening, guys. How are you doing? Well, my name is AB. It's short for Abdel, but my channel name is AB_investments. I've been looking forward to coming on this live chat with you guys. I've chatted with Massalorian and Pantheon for quite a little bit before, and I've been looking forward to chatting with you, Denaro. So how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the channel. Glad to be on screen with you for once.
Likewise. Thank you, guys. So tell me, Massalorian, what would you like me to start with?
Why don't you give out your channel name, give a little bit of background of who you are, when you got into this play, what you do, what your trading habits are, are you doing day trading? What are you doing? Just give everyone an explanation of who you are.
Okay, perfect. I do tend to have the habit of taking over and talking forever. So feel free to guys to stop me and ask me different questions if you would like. But I started back in 2018 into the stock market itself, taking it seriously. But I was into crypto all the way back since like 2012 and 13. But back then it was really terrible. It was like a wild, wild west. Back then it was all over, like all over the place because you couldn't trade it in the platforms here in the US. So I was trading it in Europe, and almost every time any platform you trade on, you get crucified. They will just suddenly somehow come up with something, and the money is lost, and you can't go ask for anything. But
right.
Anywho, into the AMC play, I got in September of 2020, and it was crazy because prior to that, it was like I got in when it was around the $7 range, $7.70, $7.80, and when it ran up the first time in January, with obviously GameStop made it very, very, very possible for everyone to actually, for the first time, for the retail line to actually go ahead and have a chance at defeating the big boys or the institutions. And I remember how it was like in Reddit, it wasn't exposed yet or none of that, like how it is today. You know, you have a lot of bots everywhere and all that stuff. So personally, for me, I do just about anything. Throughout that same time, I was also in Doge, and that run up that it ran up, I was in it when it was like 0.000067. I won't forget that. And in January, it took its famous run up. Although I was one of the ones that actually sold pretty early, but it was a great run up for me. And ever since, you know, I've just been a person who trades in all of them. I trade options, day trades. I've never day traded AMC or GameStop, you know, or any of that stuff. I have my positions in them. Most lately, I've had, it was just this week, a couple of days ago, I cashed out on some straddles. I had some straddle positions in the option lane link on GameStop, and it worked out perfectly because it was right before the, you know, their earnings report, and that rundown, when it ran down about 20%, what was it? You guys can probably fresh me up on that, but it had a good run up, and it went down anywhere from between the 120s, 130s down to the 78, 79 dollar range, and that was perfect for the straddle, you know, strategy on that. So I was protecting myself either way if it went up or down, you know, and that's basically what I do is just about anything into the stock market.
Okay, nice. And name of your channel, did you say already?
Yeah, it's basically AB_investments. And that's basically where it comes down to as far as what I do with this and, you know, and how my strategies are.
AB, what part of the country are you in, my friend?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
All right.
Yeah, Biden just approved I think it was like a chip making factory in Ohio yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday.
We need a bunch more of those all over the U.S.
Yeah, we definitely need a bunch of those for sure. It's going to help a lot. I would keep my eyes on probably Tesla, you know, and Elon Musk possibly being the most benefiting side from any of these things. So he might have a hand or two on that besides challenging Putin to a fight.
Gotcha. All right. Are you okay with taking some questions? I'm gonna take this question real quick and just throw it out to everyone. All right.
Go for it, guys.
Okay. So Paul Kenny here says Mudrick bailed out AMC. The alternative was Apollo, where AA had worked, but they wanted AA to give them EU theaters, and he told them no way. So I don't know if you guys saw Pantheon's video. It was about 26 minutes long. But he broke down AMC and their debt consolidation and all the debt they've taken on, what it's gone towards, the options that they had at the time, why they got in bed with Mudrick, why they didn't get in bed with Apollo. It was a really concise breakdown of everything that's happened over at least the concise part was in the last 20 years, right? Because that's all we really care about. Actually, that's for us probably the last 5. But yeah, he broke it down amazingly. And the more that you look into everything that's happened, it doesn't seem like, this is just in my opinion, I don't see anything crazy here that Aron has done to jeopardize AMC. People saying that he's in bed with Mudrick, that's having a negative effect on AMC. From Pantheon's breakdown, I don't know. I don't know how you could possibly say that. And I'll throw that out to you guys, whoever wants to go first.
I mean, it's not like he took $5 billion in loans to buy a gold mining company. We're talking 22 million, which to you or me might be a lot, but when you got a 1.6 B in the bank, it's really a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I think from the timing perspective as well of when it happened, like he almost had no option. You know, he kind of like both of his hands were tied up. So it's kind of like you either do it or, you know, like Pantheon even said in his video, you know, you either it was shady for what they did, and after selling their position, saying stuff like that this is not a good investment and it's terrible. But at the end of the day, you got to go with with what you have. Those were the cards that were dealt to him, and that's basically where the hatchet lies.
Right. And I mean, the way he explained it, Apollo was going to take all of the EU theaters from them. I mean, AMC would have got crushed by that move. And
Indeed,
we wouldn't probably be here right now had he had made that decision. And he had the alternative, and he took the alternative. And I think that looking back now in hindsight, maybe that was the right move. Of course, everyone has their opinion on that, but like I said, everyone has their opinion on that. Go ahead.
I'm kind of curious now that we're 2 days into it, what other questions people have in the comments relative to the gold mine. Like, what else have you heard? What other rumors are you hearing? We talked about Citadel already. We talked about the gentleman from Canada joking around about Adam Aron, calling Adam Aron. What other things are going around? You guys have a lot more eyeballs on this than we do. What other questions do you have that are unanswered, or that the answers that you got didn't quite sit right with you?
So do you want to take Nara's question right on the screen here, Tony D?
Your thoughts on if Adam Aron should have used the money on debt. So what do we have in debt right now? Like 5 billion?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean,
yes.
22 million is a 1 month payment on that debt, or 2 months. I mean, it's really inconsequential. So I'm not too worried about that, honestly.
And what about fears as far as Citadel being the mastermind behind this thing?
I haven't looked. I saw the comments. Haven't thought about it enough to have an answer if I feel concerned about it. But out of the gate, and again, I'm not saying I'm thrilled Adam Aron bought a gold mine, right? This seemed like really weird when I woke up and heard the news. And it seems, like I said in my video, that someone's trying to get him to leverage his relationship with retail investors to throw even more liquidity into this company. But I think it's because, I don't know if it has to do with Citadel. I think Mudrick was getting in trouble, and he said, "Hey, Adam, would you mind throwing us a helping hand? Get us some eyeballs on this play with the people which is all of us."
Right. Your war chest is still looking pretty ripe. Maybe we could take a little pinch out of there. Yeah.
Tell those guys this gold mine's the best thing since sliced bread, and get them to pile in. I mean, that's my worst fear, is that we're being used. But long term, it might be okay. I don't know. Right. It's too early to say. We're being used in the short term, I think.
True.
That's my unvarnished opinion. And that's also why I'm not buying the stock.
Yeah, same here. Agreed.
If I may add just a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, we all have to remember that Citadel and who they are, them being the market maker with all the power that they got. I've referred in some of my videos that most of these guys dine and wine in the same country clubs. The fact that it was just, I think, Unusual Whales reported that a week ago or a week before that, the Hycroft thing went up, there was like from zero, like the option chain went from zero, and it took off a week prior to this announcement. So obviously some people had some insider trading information. There's no way around it, without throwing any allegations in anyone in particular. But obviously there has been some chats and chatter around, and the sad truth about it is that there's always someone who knows something, I mean, these guys, as far as Citadel now, are, I've heard today that they applied a bid for buying that Chelsea club from the previous Russian billionaire.
I just saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So these guys are going to probably fight it out with the Jets ownership and whatever. We'll see who buys that team.
Good point. I want to bring this up real quick. Mike brought up this point. The Palantir bought 50 million in gold bars in August of 2021, as opposed to investing 28 million in cash in a penny stock, HYMC. Nevada. AA simply owed Jason Mudrick a favor for bailing out AMC. So let me just touch on that real quick. So I gotta say that's a good point, right? By Mike, Palantir bought those 50 million in gold bars for a Black Swan event, according to them, right? That was the press release that came out from what's his name, Alex Karp. That they were holding that for a Black Swan event. And this is a completely different thing, right? Mike is pointing out, we're talking about 28 million in a penny stock, two totally different scenarios comparing Palantir to AMC. I just wanted to bring that up. Did you want to add anything, Tony?
I do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I look back at the price of gold in August, I don't have a chart here, but I bet
I have it right here.
I bet it wasn't $2,000, was it? It was probably a pretty good probably a pretty good deal. 1,600, 1,700.
I'll tell you in 1 second. You know what? While I'm looking that up, let me bring this up.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to finish the rest of my comment because it's not really. I'm just guessing gold was a little cheaper than $2,000 in August of 2021. If you were buying gold right now, you could very well, if you were buying gold on the open market, could very well be buying at the top. So I wouldn't be going to try and buy gold bars right now. But if you can buy a troubled gold mining company that might have potential in the future and get a really sweet deal, and the price of the stock is really low, and you get warrants on top of your 22% ownership, that could be a 4, 5, 10x multiplier of your investment. Far better investment potentially than buying gold.
So just so you know, in August of 2021, gold was at like almost, I would say, 52-week low of just over just under 1,700. It was low back then when Palantir got in.
Yep.
All right, let me bring this other gentleman on. You guys, some of you might know him. He just did a 26-minute video on AMC's debt patterns. His name and hails from Vancouver, Canada. Pantheon.
Pantheon.
Where are you, Pantheon?
There you go. How you doing, Pantheon?
Haven't been called a gentleman lately, but I appreciate that, Massalorian.
Don't get used to it.
What respect?
What's going on, buddy?
Don't worry, I'll ruin the respect before the night's done. I feel like putting on a tinfoil hat tonight.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. So I just want to commend you, first of all, and all you guys, obviously, on all of your videos, but the way you broke down the debt video, Pantheon, you did one hell of a job, man. And I just want to say that was very well. I mean, you could follow it all the way through. I wasn't bored. I was glad when it was over just because there's a lot of information to take in, but the information was amazingly put out there. So I just want to say hats off to you, my friend.
Well, thank you very much.
Did that go out today, Pantheon?
Oh, I don't even know. It's all a blur. I think I put it out a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Well, I think it's reached 50 views, so it must have been out for a week.
I'll go watch it. As you guys know, I'm traveling this week, so my time to be on camera or in front of a computer is extremely limited per day. So I'll catch it one day this week when I can.
Oh, no worries. Take your time, Tony. It'll be there.
Pantheon, you want to talk about it a little bit and just give your personal opinion on the whole Apollo Mudrick thing, just the very tail end of your video, and maybe try to tie it into, or is there any way to tie it into what's going on right now with Mudrick and Hycroft? Anything?
No, I wouldn't reach for any connection in there. You know, like Adam. Okay, so I'll put it this way: Aron. I talked about a little bit about this in Froggy's stream earlier. Here's where I'm coming at this. Aron is a man who isn't a movie guy. He is a CEO who runs companies, and he knows how to take distressed companies and fix them and get them back, right? He's done this multiple times in his career. He also has a lot of very rich, very powerful friends. We've established that as well. So if anybody could find an undervalued asset, look at it and say, I know how to help these guys get their debt problems solved, it would be Aron. Now, added to that, what happened was when Mudrick purchased Hycroft, they pretty much removed the board of directors on who are money guys, but don't understand how to deal with precious minerals. What Adam Aron's done is he's teamed up with Eric Sprott, who's one of Canada's top gold, silver, precious metals guys. He's a top investor in that. So Adam Aron, running now AMC, previously having to run a cruise line, hotels, ski resorts, basketball team. He didn't go into this saying, I know gold better than people. He brought a guy with him who is an absolute expert in gold and minerals and precious minerals, right? That's what Eric Sprott comes in. So Eric Sprott equaled the investment that AMC made. They both purchased equal sides into this, 22% each. So, when you bring somebody in who knows what the hell they're doing and you know how to take a distressed company and help fix them, that to me is an interesting start to this relationship. When you're ready for the tinfoil hat, which is not yet, I'd be happy to go into, I was on a Twitter space call and these guys blew me away with a cool idea, and it's nothing more than an idea. And I could tie it into Tony's popcoin. I emailed it to you guys ahead of this, but let's just deal with that a little bit later. But there is a misunderstanding in Adam Aron's tweet that he put out regarding this. And it ties into the video that you put out tonight, Massalorian. So in the tweet that Adam Aron put out, and you guys can stop me anytime because this is going to take a minute or two to get through. But he tweeted that there was, 15 million ounces of gold resources and 600 million ounces of silver resources. So when you read that, that makes you think you take 15 million ounces of gold, multiply it by the spot price, and add it to 600 million ounces of silver times the spot price, and add those two together.
I did that.
That's not how you do it. And
nope,
he's used. Okay, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying I did that. I did that myself.
Yeah. And a lot of people have done that, right? So what I've done is I've actually gone into the PowerPoint the presentation that Hycroft did. It's a shareholder focused presentation. They were just at the BMO 2022 Global Metals and Mining Conference, February 27th to March 2nd, 2022. So this is the most recent relevant information that we can dig up. And in here, they go through what their precious metal deposits are. And there's three categories. There's gold, there's silver, and then there's gold equivalent. Now, what is gold equivalent? Gold equivalent is you take the deposit of gold and you add that to the deposit of silver times the silver spot price, that dollar value, you divide by the gold spot price to get the silver in gold equivalent. Then you add the two together. So they have 15.3 million ounces of gold equivalent, not 15 million ounces of gold. They have 9.6 million ounces of gold and a total of 600 million ounces of silver. So when he says gold resources, he's actually saying gold equivalent, which means the silver is already part of it. So when we add these numbers up, we're inflating it accidentally because Adam Aron has used the wrong term. He should have said gold equivalent, which wouldn't make sense in this case. And then there's three levels. I've been living this for the last 24 hours, man. So I'm deep into these guys. There's also when you look at it, this is an active mine site that's been mined already previously, right? And the top layers that were taken off were the easier to attract gold pieces. And now they're getting into the particulates that are more difficult and smaller. And the process to get them extracted is a more expensive, cumbersome process. And the technology to do that efficiently isn't quite there yet. So they might have something in the works that we don't know yet, right? Obviously, these guys are smarter. They know more than we do. Adam Aron didn't wake up and buy this. He actually would have known about this well in advance. But there's three layers of information. And that's what's important to understand. There's inferred minerals, indicated minerals, and measured minerals. So inferred is nobody's dug into the ground. You have a ground penetrating radar. Think of if anyone's seen the show, The Curse of Oak Island. If anyone's ever seen that, well, they're trying to find the ancient gold of the whoever those guys were. That's an interesting. They don't know, but the interesting part of that show, I've seen a few episodes. They have all these people bring all this new technology to them and show them. Let me try my new mechanism that'll help you find where this ancient gold is. Anyhow, So I've seen a lot of that, and I'm actually quite familiar with the technology. Anyways, get to the point. The point is, inferred is basically ground penetrating radar, where you can see there's a deposit of something, and you can cut the Templar's gold. That's right, Carl J. And you can see there's something underground, and it looks like the masses look like gold or silver, but you're guessing. Okay, that's inferred. Now, of the 600 million ounces of silver, 150 million of that is inferred. It might be there, it might not be there, but these guys are pretty good at reading these radars, so they're pretty sure that there's 150 million ounces of it. 456, they combine that to be both measured and indicated. So indicated is, imagine you've got a football field and you drill a few holes at both of the end zones, and you drill a couple of holes at the center line, right? And then you say, I'm going to assume between those 3 different drill sites, the rest of it has gold and silver as well. Then you go to the next layer, which is measured. Now you have that same football field, and you've drilled on every 5-yard line from one end of the field to the other. And you see that there's actual gold all the way across. Now you can say with more confidence, yes, this deposit stretches the entire way. So when they give the 9.6 million ounces of gold, that's actually both measured and indicated, which is a more likely scenario, but still it becomes with core samples. The inferred has no core samples. So these numbers are a little misleading, and when people just multiply the 2 numbers, yeah. I'm losing everybody here. Sorry, guys. I was gonna make this into a bit.
I got you. I'm reading you.
Hey,
I was
following
gonna
you.
make this.
Pantheon.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm so glad that you were able to share all that extra detail, because since I am at my folks' house, this is my first time actually to visit my dad since my mom died. And I'm here taking my kid for spring break to visit his grandpa. So sorry for the change in scenery, but I had to speed read through all the survey reports, the ones that were out there. Yep. And I saw those inferred maps. And so thank you for explaining that, because I saw the maps, but I didn't have time to dig into all that. Is it true that this, as far as gold mines go, this is one of the smaller? I saw like some table that had large gold mining companies versus smaller ones, and we're like at the tail end of small gold mine companies with this one, are we not? Do you know?
I can't. No, I haven't gotten deep enough to compare it to the other companies yet. That's another piece of the puzzle for me. But the site that they're dealing with is larger than Manhattan, if that helps put it in perspective for anybody. And we're talking about the site in Nevada.
I think I have a picture of it I can put up. I did pull down a picture of the site from the sky. I don't know if it's drone footage or what it is, but it's a still shot. It's a pretty big area, right?
It is about the size of Manhattan. Yeah. That's I'd call that pretty good size, but I haven't seen too many gold digging sites, so I don't know.
So Pantheon, that GPR, is that available? Is that able to pick up? Is it able to pick up where the deposits are itself? It's not a metal detector, right? GPR is just what it is. It's just showing you some type of fluctuation in the patterns below the soil, correct?
Yeah, what they use is sonar, and it goes deep into the ground and it gives you a 3-dimensional to the computer program of how big the deposits are, and they can tell by basically how deep they are and what level they're in, what type of minerals you should expect. And then they drill a few core samples, right? And they'll see when they drill the core samples, as you go so many feet down, you know, you have so many types of minerals, and then usually your layers are pretty consistent when you get down below, you know, past the bedrock. So.
Right. So that system that they've been using on Oak Island all these seasons, as far as that rig and how they are drawing those samples to find, to try to locate different parts of the island from, you know, from folklore or myth. But that is the same technique pretty much that they're using, correct? For anyone who's seen that show?
That is one method of core sampling. I shouldn't even have brought that up, because now it's going to be all over Twitter.
We're all miners now, buddy.
Pantheon gets his DD from the Curse of Oak Island.
Yeah. I know, right? I know. It's all we need traveling around. I know. All right. Let's.
If anybody's really nerdy into this stuff and wanting to know more, I found some really good reports. The actual survey reports. There were 3 of them on Reddit in the old what is it, HCMCZ Reddit
yes
subreddit.
that's it. Yep. HYMCZ.
Or HYMCZ.
Yep.
There's only a few posts in there, but there are 3 pretty lengthy reports with maps and showing where they did all the core samples. And if you really want to learn a lot about this company on your own DD and not just watch our videos, go read through those reports. I just read through them in about an hour the other day, but there's some good info there.
If I may add just a quick little thing, I believe Sprout is a billionaire as well. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me on that. But I believe that when I read on him yesterday, I think the guy started out some sort of hedge fund back in the 80s and sold it to his own employees, staff. And so basically, like my intake on this is like a guy like that, you know, or guys like that. They don't tend to put 22% down and partner up with another company on a loss venture, you know. So that's something just to look. If you can't, you know, if you get too drawn into the DD, just sometimes it's good to space out and look at the map view like Massalorian did, and see the fact that, hey, these guys, they're not just going to come in and, you know, dump in 22% to match with AMC just to lose that money. You know, there's something there. That's for sure. I'll take it.
And unless in the tinfoil hat world, they had some compromising photos of them and said, hey, we need something to make Aron look good in this play. You're going to need to pony up.
Yep. Hopefully it's not a tax write-off.
All right, let's see here. So someone, man with a plan, says, Massalorian, why is AMC stock performing worse now versus last year when they were closed? So I would say we're doing a little better right now than we were last year when we were closed, right? We actually have revenue coming in. And why is the stock performing worse? Because we are probably getting hit harder than ever from the other side. They are probably consistently wrecking our price on a daily basis with whatever tactic they're using on per se day. We've been taking a beating. Plus, look at the overall market. Exactly. Look what's happened with inflation. Look what's happened with supply chain issues. Just look at all the other intangibles that you're not taking into consideration when you're asking why AMC is dropping compared to last year. Everything was looking up. We just had a rate hike on from the Fed. All those different things combined are having its effect on AMC, plus what they're doing that we don't know. You guys can take it.
I love that there's other people like you, Massalorian, and Pantheon, other people besides myself now that are talking about macroeconomic conditions. I've been saying since the beginning of my channel, you cannot just look at AMC and expect that the stock is going to act independent of everything else that's going on in the world. Like, oh, yes, if we got a catalyst, we're going to take off no matter what. But in the meantime, if the market's shitty and the world's shitty, the stock's going down. There's no getting around that. I don't care. Sorry, I don't want to hurt feelings. In my opinion, it doesn't matter about anything else that anyone else is saying. If stocks go down when the stock market goes down, that's just how life is. Someone else, go ahead before I get another legion of haters.
I gotta address the curse of Oak Island, guys. What I do is I try and simplify things in really simple ways so people can go, oh, I get it. I don't actually use the curse of Oak Island for my DD, guys. Come on.
We were making a comparison.
You're killing
me.
Another joke.
Visual.
No, in all seriousness. Let me know when it's time for the tinfoil hat, because I heard a very interesting theory today that I like.
Okay. Lorenda is saying they asked that because Lou just stated that the stock is doing worse than when it was closed. Yeah, good luck with him. It's almost at this point just become I don't know.
It's become comedy.
It has. It really has. It really has.
Yeah. I think that something with Lou, like I've called it in one of my videos, that by now, like just looking at the pattern of his videos and his techniques of reporting things, I think he always tends to present like a different problem, and the solution is always the same. Don't worry, guys. They still have to answer to this, you know. But that whole theory that he created, I think it was last week, about them owning all the shares and tagging everybody's accounts and where the synthetics are and everything. That was another thing that I feel like, you know, he brought out. And then now he's just following it up with, you know, oh, they still have to buy back. So the solution is always the same, but it's always in every episode with him. It's a new monster, kind of like a Marvel's episode, you know. Who's
Yep.
Spider-Man going against this week, you know? And is he going to defeat him or not? And it's just, I feel like he's playing with the emotions of the following that he has. And, you know, he still brings a lot of knowledge to the play, but that's the pattern that I'm seeing with him, you know?
Well, I was joking with Pantheon and Cam earlier that he deleted his Twitter again. So he needed a day or two to come up with some new shit to say. So expect a new round of bullshit in a day or two when he miraculously returns.
Yeah, he did mention something about.
I love the guy for entertainment, but
yeah, I
you
definitely love the guy for sure.
Take what he says with a grain of salt.
You have to do that. Yeah, no, he did mention, I think last time, the most ludicrous thing he said was, if this doesn't take off in March, then it's never, you know? So I would like to see what he's going to say against that again, because again, the March 3rd theory did not check, was only his. And, you know, now he stated that if it doesn't happen in March, it will never happen. Again, quoting the guy.
I don't know what you guys.
I bet Massalorian remembers a lot of other dates that he said that didn't pan out either.
If I had to go back and do the research to pull every different catalyst that he's yelled out, going back to July, I mean,
Elon Musk.
I've thought about it. I've thought about diving into it, doing a real deep dive into every professed date and how they fell apart. But it really, I mean, the DD you would have to do to dig through all of that material would just be, you know, it would be overwhelming. I don't think I could keep up with it. So is that what you guys just ended on? That's what we were talking about?
Yeah.
People are saying, did we watch the video? I have not seen it be good. I have not seen the video. Some people just commented about it. And guys, again, why talk about Lou? It's brought up in the comments. Like, we're trying to answer the comments. I don't pick and choose what comments. I just go and hit a button. I hit the button and bring you guys up.
The only reason we're talking about right now is because someone asked a question about him in the comments. If you guys don't want us to talk about him, please don't ask about him in the comments. We're happy to not talk about him. But the reason people ask us is because you guys know intuitively that what he's saying is bullshit. So you got to come to someone you can trust to hear the real answer.
Correct. Want to add something?
We don't like wasting our time on that shit.
Pantheon, anything to
No,
add?
I think I said what I needed to say to Blue Ice earlier this morning. I'll stand on that.
Oh, you had it out with Blue Icy this morning?
Yeah, I don't think I can use that language on your channel, sir.
Please don't. Please don't. My video already got demonetized that I put out a couple hours ago. So they
tell us about the tinfoil hat.
Vice claimed dibs on it.
Before the tinfoil hat, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I would start taking him seriously if he starts actually showing us the methods behind, or the DD behind his like, you know, whatever he's proposing. You know, when he says, like, you know, this or that or this or that, like, at least talk. Don't just say, I know I'm talking to some people in the background, and look at the background behind the curtains, and I have someone and I speak to them. You know, that doesn't suffice after you do it 20 times. So that's my take on that.
Good take. Good
Amen.
take.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Yeah, amen is right. Is right. John Walker says, can we the people have enough power to force the squeeze? I don't want to answer that. Somebody take that besides me.
I would like to say something like that kind of goes around that question, but also answers it. So here's the thing. We should have already been able to force the squeeze a long time ago. If it wasn't for, you know, all the gimmicks that the hedge funds and the market maker tries and does, and, you know, you have all the news, you watching all the news, the DOJ involved, the SEC trying to re-upgrade all the system that has been much needed for so many years now. you know. So with that being said, we, as far as if it was like a straightforward market and everything is playing by the rules, this squeeze would have been over back in January of 2021. There would have been no stopping except of just a suspension for regular halts. But besides that, there would have nothing to be there to stop it. I mean, the float, guys, has been purchased over and over and over and over again. So all we can do, we have done our part, buying and holding. We've been doing our part. Now it's left to the outside forces.
Anyone add?
That was perfect.
Going once, going twice. Okay.
Well
Mod
said.
Couple adds, we can, but we will all get in trouble. Right. So we don't want to we're not on here trying to collude like the hedge funds do, right? We just like the stock. We buy it when we can, and we don't sell until the day they comes, they cover. Lorenda is talking about, so no one gets in trouble. Lorenda was saying that they're sending all our orders to the dark pools, or we would have by now. And one thing I always don't take into consideration about the dark pools and the buy orders. Now, as far as that goes right now, is it still trading heavily? I know that there was a point where it was like 60%, or is that still happening right now? I haven't even looked in a while to see.
I haven't looked in a couple of weeks at the short volume, the daily short volume.
Yeah,
haven't looked.
I haven't either.
I haven't checked on it personally as well, but I've seen it. I mean, there was days where it was above 60. It was in the 70% and even 80% before. But it's the thing is, like, the bad part about this whole situation is that the dark pool is needed. We really do need it in the market. But in the same time, when it's abused like this, this is where we get screwed. And that's the number one thing that surprised me since the beginning of this play, is the fact that the SEC or our buddy Gary Gensler, addressing the climate control and all the the overheating and the global warming questions and everything, but beating around that bush. I think the SEC need to have a lot more hands-on and being the sheriff on top of that dark pool. That's what I think that needs to happen.
Yeah, agreed. The dark pool is an evil necessity, but not even. I mean, we don't even we haven't looked back to see how it's been used in the past. We just know right now it is not being used as intended. That wasn't the original design. Whoever architected this whole thing, the dark pools were never designed in order to stick smaller blocks of retail trades, right? We all agree on that, I guess.
Indeed.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
It's become bastardized.
Yes, become bastardized. Yeah, it's a perfect word for it. Yeah, exactly.
We're not even supposed to be a part of that dark pool stuff. Like, it's not supposed to be any retail involvement in there. It's just for big players, big corporations or institutes trying to make a trade without affecting the market, by buying in or even selling. But when we become a part of that system, then that's where everything is obviously wrong.
Wait. Anybody gonna add on that? Oh, okay. All right, moving on. Tony VU 16719 says most people don't know how gold mining works and the process of getting gold out of the ground. The most expensive part is prepping and removed over burn top layer to get to pay dirt. So we just kind of discussed that a little bit, Tony. We were saying that they need to still locate where these pockets are, and that's a lot of drilling and taking core samples and ground penetrating radar. There's a lot that goes into mining. It's not just a guy with a pickaxe anymore, a big beard and a scruffy hat. Someone asked who the gentleman speaking is. That gentleman was AB Investments. That's on the big screen right there. That's Abdel from his channel. And Pam, thank you. I just sent you a message. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Lion Trader, someone's asking, did you guys happen to see Lion Trader's latest video, DD, about how the gold mine AA bought into is owned by Citadel? Mudrick is owned by Citadel. Is there more than one Citadel? GG asks. Anybody want to jump on that? Feel free.
Citadel owns a 5% stake in Mudrick. End of story.
and Mudrick owns 40% of Hycroft, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're talking about a sliver, guys. A drop in the bucket.
Now, I have not watched Lion Trader's latest video, so if there's something else he's uncovered that is not in all of the required documents that are submitted to the SE and other entities, and then I'll check it out.
Same
He's a
here.
smart guy, so
Yep.
if he's uncovered something else, we'll check it out.
Yep, same here. Lion Trader, I agree. I like a lot of his stuff that he's done. I have not seen that video, so I don't want to speak too heavily on it. I just know what the percentages are, but he could have a totally different take. That's something that I'm unaware of, so I can't speak on that too deeply. I don't know. Do you have anything, AB, that you can add to that?
Not really. I haven't watched, Lion Trader, video at all on that. I was just looking at the question and listening to what the guys had to put on that. That's it.
Okay. Someone says here, Fred's saying evidently there's only like 4 to 5 grams of gold per ton of ore. Yeah, I guess that was the. That would be lying if I said I knew that. Is that correct? Does anyone know? Maybe even in the chat.
What was the question?
Someone said that there's 4 or 5 grams per ton of iron ore. I mean, that sounds right. As far as that sounds about right.
That is correct from what I heard Pantheon or Cam saying earlier today. So
okay,
that's leaning on what they already covered on DD.
Gotcha. Let's see. Someone's saying in here it's 12 grams per ton.
Yeah, QQ says 12 grams. I mean, let's just be honest. It's a few grams per ton.
Right.
We're talking
minute amounts. Yeah, very small. You can fit them in a in a little crack vial. Let's see. 4 to 5 grams is low. Pantheon says, well, I'm trying to think of something I can compare it to. I've seen those on TV enough. Well, I'm trying to think. What are the things they put the little nuggets in, the little glass things? I don't know what those are.
What else
called.
do you buy in grams?
Come on, Massalorian. Get with the program, buddy. 5 grams is like $500, Chris Hamburg says. If Citadel is in trouble, how they have money to purchase Chelsea football team along with Cub owner. So, AB, you just talked about this, and maybe Pantheon can add. I don't know if Tony's a soccer fan, but go ahead, AB. I'm assuming you're a soccer fan because your background.
Big time for sure. Here's the thing. If they're in trouble, they still have a lot of assets, and you got to still remember the fact that Citadel is almost in every play in the stock market. So when you see a lot of these pump and dump stocks that you're seeing lately, as of late, like almost every day you have 1 or 2 or even 3 stocks that are going up 2, 3, 400% and then dumping right back down. I would not be surprised if Citadel is obviously an orchestrating machine behind those, and they make a lot of money off of that stuff. Now Citadel is an entity, and it could be in trouble, but you got to remember the owner, or the Griffin in this case, he still is the richest guy in Illinois. He still have his money intact. So, the fact that everybody is dumping in, I would not be surprised if they end up doing some sort of link-up deal with the Jets ownership or anything to get this done. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to make it, an auctioning bid versus each other and seeing how it happens. I wouldn't be surprised also if another Middle Eastern rich royal family steps in, like how the Saudis bought Newcastle. And Man City is already owned by also the Qatarian people. So therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys over there, some sort of prince who's bored or something, might throw in a couple of, maybe a $10-20 billion on that and says, no, I got more where that came from. So that's where I think as far as where that goes.
I'd throw the question back and say, who's saying Citadel's in trouble?
Exactly.
I mean,
good point.
We've all known that a market correction was coming for a long time. their job is hedge fund, to hedge for known things that are bad going to happen. So I'm not a big believer in this 20% market correction is going to harm them. They have been planning for this, I think. My opinion, don't hate. That's their job, to plan how to not go out of business in a small correction that we all knew was coming. We've all talked about it.
Kind of like Aron.
A severe market correction, I mean, a 50% drop in the market, that's harder to plan for and survive. But 10, 20% down, that's nothing to these guys. That's why they have puts on all the indexes. That's why they have puts on every major position that they own. I don't know if I just would ask, if you're thinking Citadel's in trouble, where are you hearing that? Just from a YouTuber that's saying it, or do you have any evidence? Just asking the question.
Because the other side of the argument is that Citadel's dumped all their position off onto other smaller hedge funds, and they currently don't have any position. So you got two different scenarios here, and we're trying to find the correct answer to this. So we will turn this to Pantheon. Pantheon, can you answer this question 100%? Confidence. Did he leave? Pantheon?
And I'm out.
Yeah, I guess he pulled him out.
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Friend indeed. I almost put that in tonight's video. It was either that or the explanation of the war. Two classics. They had time to cover, Hal says. Oh, Pantheon, we were asking if you had a definite answer.
Connection.
That's okay.
My connection fixed out for a minute. I had to reconnect. What's up?
You're all good. You're all good. Now I forget what the question was. What were we talking about? Oh, Citadel.
How do we know that? Why? How do we know that Citadel's in trouble, or are they even in trouble? Because people were asking in the chat, if Citadel's in trouble, why are they buying a soccer team? My question back to everyone on the panel is, or the people in the comments, how do you know Citadel's in trouble? Or are they in trouble? Maybe they're doing just fine.
Just we've heard the narratives that Citadel is out of their position and it's all been transferred to the smaller hedge funds, or that Citadel isn't is also not hurting at all, and that's why they're having all this extra cash to throw around. What do you think is the correct scenario?
I think that we focus a lot in the community on Citadel as kind of the end-all be-all for the squeeze, and quite frankly, they're not even the biggest holders in this, right? So we don't really need Citadel to be in trouble for us to get our tendies. And the people that will end up in problems that can't prep like Citadel will be the first to fall.
True.
So are they in trouble? I have no idea. All I know is in 2009, when King Griffin was on the verge of being destroyed, and if the bank on Monday hadn't opened, he said they would be out of business by Wednesday. Their whole mentality was never let him see you sweat and just live for one more day. So even if they were in trouble, they'd never tell us.
Yep. Good point.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're not in trouble. I'm just saying we don't know that they're in trouble. So to start off a question by saying, if they're in trouble, why they're buying a soccer team, we're not going to know that they're in trouble. Anyone who's saying that is either guessing or hoping. But they could be. I mean, who knew that? Which one of you guys knew that people were shorting the hell out of nickel?
None. No one. No one did.
I mean, you never know what's going to come out of left field. One day, they shut down the entire market, because I heard on the radio today, like 80% of the brokers trading nickel were going to go bankrupt if they didn't shut down LME. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And guys, even if let's say, hypothetically speaking, even if they are in trouble, look at the example of AMC. You know, it's on debt for $5 billion plus. They're still going out there to buy gold mines, right? So even if you're hurting or on debt, you still have money to make some transactions that could benefit you down the line. So that's just for the theory. If they are really in trouble, then you still can go out there and do some transactions.
Pantheon, when in your AMC debt video, when did you say they had pushed off some of that I think you said, what was the year? You said some of that debt had been pushed off to 2029. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And how much of that was there a figure behind that?
I have to open that up and check
Okay.
that out.
Let me ask you this.
950 million.
Well, that's the amount of the bond. That's the amount of the bonds that they got, but that doesn't necessarily mean that was all debt that was transferred to 29. Anyways, I'd have to. But
yep, gotcha.
You're correct. The bond was for 950 million, and you're correct. It was 2029. The debt's been pushed back to.
And what was the current? So what did you end up with your? I'm just trying to remember. I should have written this down. What was your current number as to what the debt is as of, say, this week?
It's just, well, at the end of 2021, it was just over 5.4 billion, because in 2021 there was a bunch of debt that was converted to shares, and then they either sold or held, right? So that it wasn't that they paid off the debt. The debt just got converted over to shares. About 5.4 billion.
Okay. And in your video, you talked about the relationship, the Apollo and Mudrick thing. And you said in your video that Apollo was going to give them, I believe, just over 400. Was it just over 400 million in order to, and then they would have basically. So Apollo thought. Let me see if I have this correct. Apollo assumed that AMC was finished. They had. Actually, why don't you tell the story? They tell that part of the story one more time. I just want to make sure this is clear, because I know a lot of people have issues with the Mudrick thing back in June. I want to make sure we get an understanding of that. There was no way around this almost.
Just one sec.
It was really, yep.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay. It was a lot of information to take in, and I'm trying to remember it now 48 hours later.
It was a really great video. It was very informative.
Yeah, 100%. RJ Carter. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. RJ Carter says it's all a scam. I don't think AMC is ever going to squeeze again like it did, but hey, third time will be a charm if it happens. Yeah, I mean, RJ, it's already happened twice, right? So I don't see why it can't happen a third time. And it seems like to me, we are in a better setup now than we've ever been, possibly. As far as preparedness, prep and things to look out for, and communication and organization, and guys working on DD and interviewing each other, and the whole nine. Everything that we're doing, I think, is putting us in a little better spot right now. As always, I like to get some of the bigger channels involved and but it seems like a lot of the info that's filtering out, people are coming to a lot of the similar conclusions, which is a good thing. Like as far as paying down the debt and the coin and all that stuff. All just the more that we're in tune with each other, just the better off we'll be when this thing goes off. Okay, we lost Pantheon for a second, but he's back. Let's see. Tinfoil hat time, someone's saying. So who's got the tinfoil hat? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? It was 408 million. And what companies like Apollo do, allegedly, I don't want you to get sued, is they're like Gordon Gekko in the movie Wall Street. They find companies that are in stress, they buy them, and then they break them apart and sell them for their pieces. This is kind of one of the things that they do. So they previously owned AMC back in 2003, 2004. They owned them up until they sold AMC to Wanda Group. Okay. So they were intimately familiar with the company. And Adam Aron worked for Apollo during the time that they owned AMC, but he didn't work with AMC. He was in different areas within Apollo. So Apollo in 2020 knew that they were distressed, knew that there was problems, and quite frankly, they were right. The company was in trouble. They had accumulated all this debt from the aggressive expansion that Adam Aron was tasked to do. And they basically came to AMC and said, hey, you're my buddy, AA. Let me hook you up. We'll give you $408 million against the Odeon assets. And the Odeon assets they just purchased were $1.2 billion. So he was trying to get them for 33 cents on the dollar, thinking that they were going to go bankrupt. And being the last bondholder to put money at the table gives you first dibs on the assets when it comes time for the bondholders to collect.
That's what I was getting at. Yep. Okay. So
What's
they
up,
would have,
pal?
yeah, they would have taken a significant hit at that time because they had just spent 1.2 bill, right? So they would, yeah, you like you said, it would have been, they would have lost about 2/3 of their investment if they had done that, and we wouldn't be here right now.
Right. And what
Okay.
he said when they came to him and offered that money, knowing he was in trouble, that's when Aron said to the guy who he had a close working relationship with over the last 20 plus years, right? This is the guy that, let me get his name here for you. It's save you
David?
guys watching a 27-minute video. Josh Harris. So Josh Harris was the guy that there was two guys that built Apollo Global Management. Josh Harris is one of the others. Leon Black. Leon Black's the guy tied to Jeffrey Epstein. That might have got you demonetized when I just said that name.
That's
But
all right.
in all seriousness, Josh Harris is the guy that hired AA to be the CEO of Vail Resorts from 1996 to 2006. When AA left Vail Resorts, he went to go work for Josh Harris at Apollo Global Management. And then Josh Harris is the guy who bought the Philadelphia 76ers, who then brought in AA to be the CEO of the Philadelphia 76ers. And then Josh Harris is the guy that told Wanda when they purchased AMC from Apollo, AA is the guy you want to be your CEO. And then when they were in trouble, Josh Harris came back to AA, 20 plus year relationship, and said, let's do it, brother. And AA said, nope. And that's the same. He went to Mudrick and made the deal with Mudrick for $100 million. So when he says Mudrick helped us out, they actually did, because the alternative was a company that would have done everything they could to kill it. So,
yep, or outright bankruptcy.
Not praising the guy. I'm just saying, if you wanted to kill this, and I know not everyone here thinks that on the chat, but there are people who think AA is trying to kill the company, not just kill the MOASS. He's not trying to kill the company. Could have killed it right there if he'd wanted to. All right, you want some tinfoil hat stuff?
Yeah, let me just say one thing. It just sucks. It sucks the timing on everything because they spent all of that money right before we got nicked with the pandemic. And the timing couldn't have been worse, right? I mean, had they not sunk all that investment back in 2019 there, we might be looking a lot prettier right now, right? But go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead with your tinfoil.
Well, the tinfoil is going to take a little bit of time to go through. So I've been just talking for a bit. It might be better to let the other gentleman go and then cue me in.
Let's get Tony and then AB. Tony?
I'm going to answer one very quick question that someone asked. When is the cost to borrow going to go up for AMC? And someone asked that in my Discord today, and I haven't looked at it since I've been traveling all week. It is, I did notice that it was up today. Cost to borrow average was around 2% with a max of close to 9%. And that's bigger numbers than I remember seeing Friday, which was the last time I looked. So it is inching up. I mean, we're making slow progress up. I don't know. Have you guys been watching that every day?
No,
yeah,
I'm trying to find the question.
I was in Cam's WebEx earlier, and a gentleman in there named Monty, who's a super smart guy, he pointed that out. Yeah, that the cost to borrow went up pretty nicely today.
Yes. So that's good. That's all I got.
That's good. Heading in the right direction. Anything to add, AB?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have covered before I came onto the segment about, the Feds and their rate hikes. This is really, really crucial for us in a way, if not for AMC directly, indirectly through the other long-term positions that all these big institutions hold. When they see their positions are dwindling down and more as, the rate hike is changing and possibly maybe a second one in a few more months, then you're talking about a possible margins, just flying left and right, just from even indirectly from different positions. And that is good for us because it could squeeze these guys more and more from the whole spectrum, from all around, not just towards AMC. And that could obviously directly lead on to us.
To a MOASS.
Chris
Guys, says,
I'm going to sign off while Pantheon talks because I have family time here. I'm on a family vacation, and we'll probably put it on the TV and listen in while we're doing all our chit chat so we can keep on hearing you guys. AB, it was nice getting to see you.
Pleasure all
Pantheon,
mine.
good hanging out with you again. Massalorian, thank you for all you do as well. And thanks to
Thank you,
all
Tony.
the viewers for tuning in and all your great questions tonight.
Yeah, thank you,
My
Tony, for
pleasure.
coming on and volunteering your time
Thanks,
on
Tony.
vacation, man. Appreciate you. Yep. Have
All
a
right,
good night, brother.
take care, guys.
Good night. All right, guys. So we just lost Tony, and now.
But Mass, did you notice that one of the key catalysts we've been focusing on is Tony's chair, and tonight he's surrounded by chairs. I'm just saying.
I know. He looked like he was
something's
in
in
the
the air.
throne room in Game of Thrones. Looked like he was one of the Targaryens there, sitting with all that stuff behind him. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna. So, did you want to go into your story, Pantheon? Since he just hopped off now, we'll give you some time.
Sure,
AB,
sure.
you got it. Can you
Let's
stick around a while, or what's your deal? AB,
Sorry,
what's your deal? Can you stick around a little while?
I'll be on for a little more while, and then I'll just sign off as well myself.
Okay, I just want to make sure you have time to talk. I don't want Pantheon, because Pantheon's story is long and you got to go. I'll let you know.
No, it's fine. I'm very eager to hear it.
All right, man. Cool. All right, go ahead, Pantheon. Take it away.
Hal's giving me 30 seconds. What's up, Hal? I like seeing you on here again. This is not my story, and so at the risk of people going nuts over this idea, this is a cool idea. It's from a Twitter space call that might even still be on right now. I listened to it over the last hour or two. It's from a group called the Sock Market, SOCK. And then their little icons are all hand puppet socks, right? Or sock puppets. So anyways, I've never heard of these guys. I was in CS Trades 101's WebEx, and this was alerted for us to check out. And these guys were having a very interesting conversation about tying the possibility. This is a fun concept, guys. That's all that this is. There's nothing behind it. I've got no receipts. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. And so the idea was tying in the gold mine play with a possible AMC dividend or popcoin. We'll use popcoin because that's Tony's phrase. They didn't say popcoin, but I'm going to use it here. Okay. So this is an interesting idea these guys came up with. They threw out the idea, what if, since AMC now owns 22% of this gold mine, they were to say, here's the amount of scanned deposits that we know are there. So we're going to say we've got access to all this gold, and we're going to create a gold-backed crypto coin, in theory. And what if, there we go, Susan, that's right, love me some tinfoil. So what if this crypto coin, this pop coin, would be then offered to the 516 million shares in existence across the investors of AMC, but it's backed by gold. So on a typical dividend, let's say AMC decided they were going to spend $516 million and issue a $1 per share dividend. Let's just say that as an example. Then if there's synthetic shorts, they could either close their positions or they could pay the $1 per share for every share of synthetic shares that they've shorted, including naked shorts and regular legal shorts. And they could just pay that, right? And then everybody gets their $1 per share. Now, on the flip side, what if you put it forward in AMC Popcoin and said it was going to be backed by gold? We have the reserves in the ground. We don't have to mine it. And it's got nothing to do with HYMC. So nobody on that board has a say in this. It's only tied to AMC. And what AMC would say is, we're going to issue this coin. We own 22% in a gold mine. Each one of these coins is worth X amount of gold. Okay? X amount of ounces of gold. And then you say 516 shares. That's what we legally have. Let's send those out to everybody and we will back it. So you don't have to pay for it. We will give you the coin that's worth backing in gold. And then the hedge funds who have not shorted would say, wait a minute, we're going to need access to these coins too. Now, AMC would be willing at this point to sell the coins. Remember, guys, this is speculation. This is a fun idea from the Sock Market on Twitter. So what if then the hedge funds would say, well, you can't hold them back from us. You're going to have to give them eligible to us like a dividend. Okay, fine. You can buy them from us and give them to the people of the shares you've shorted. But here's the thing. You have to give us physical gold to back up each coin before we'll give it to you, just like we've backed up physical coin in the mine that we just purchased. So now you would have hedge funds having to physically deliver gold to AMC and take the gold and actually give it to Aron before they would say, fine, here's your coin. You can give it to the investors. So now at no cost to AMC except the cost to develop the pop coin. They could sell these coins if it's cheaper than closing the positions. They could sell these for physical gold. And at the end of it, let's say it costs, I don't know, let's say it's $5 million or $10 million to get the coins made. I have no idea what it would cost to do that, but let's just say that they already accept Bitcoin. So these coins could be spendable tender back in AMC theaters, nowhere else. Okay. So we all get our pop coins. And the hedgies now have to decide, do I close the positions and have this MOASS and get myself killed? Or do I just bite the bullet and find some physical gold and give it to AMC and get these pop coins? A, it would expose how many synthetic shares there actually are. And B, AMC would be sitting on a mountain of gold that they could turn around, sell, and pay off a shit ton. I'm sorry, I just swore. Pay off a ton of debt. Okay. Now, what they could do then, if let's say they chose the idea of just taking the gold and giving it to them, then you turn around, you do it again 6 months later. Let's do it again, guys, because AMC doesn't actually have to have a vault of gold to do this. Now,
and
if you don't want to do this,
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I just said in my video tonight that if you expect gold bars and nuggets to be flying out of AMC theaters, I think you got another thing coming, but maybe you're onto something here. I might have spoke too soon. Go ahead. Keep going.
This is not my idea. This is from the V and Sojka and Patriot over on the SOC market. I'm just listening to these guys and repeating what I heard tonight, so I'm not taking credit for this, but it certainly got my interest. So, you know, at the end of this thing, they've either closed their positions or they have purchased physical gold delivered to AMC, and AMC can sell the gold and pay off debt, and they can rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. Either the debt's going to get all paid off, or they're going to have to MOASS, one or the other. And so we would get some resolution out of it, and then, you know, the board would know how many synthetic shares there are if they decide to go the route of buying the gold at record high prices. So this whole idea really just struck me and going, okay, I see what they're doing. They're trying to take the gold mine and tie it into if you don't like the dividend play, fine, let's not call it a dividend, just call it a mined coin that would be given to each shareholder. That's fine, whatever you want to term it as. But you can't mine any more of these coins. And it's a way of getting around the whole NFT as a dividend thing, which every time I'm on a live stream, people keep saying, oh, don't you listen to people say they're not dividends? Hey, man, the guys who did it at, what was the name of the company that did the NFT dividend originally? I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Good question.
Whoever that was, I forget the name, but, you know,
even they...
No, but even, yeah, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Net zero, I think, or whatever it was called. Anyhow, that's the system, right? So anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is, even they call it an NFT dividend. So I don't really care what you guys want to call it. It doesn't matter. But you can get around it by just saying it's an issued coin. Overstock. Thank you, Eric R. So Overstock did it that way. Now, one of the things we have to be careful of, though, is that in the lawsuit that they fought on the Overstock thing, the hedgies were trying to link that the NFT that was given out was actually a security. And the judge just waved that off and stopped it and said, we're just not going to talk about this, and ended it. They never actually had a court filing that said an NFT is not a security. So if AMC were to do the same thing that everybody says, why can't they do it? Because they're going to get sued and they're going to go right back to the exact same court hearing because it was never resolved that it's not a security. That's the case that they would make. Because if it's labeled as a security, then they have to make them open and accessible to everyone, because the way it succeeded was going 6 months without giving anyone the actual NFT. And that's what forced the squeeze. They had no reason, no way to get it, right? Anyways, I don't want to ramble. However, I think that if there is some kind of, we're speculating, guys, if there was some kind of end game where AA was having the idea, and let me get a little bit more the tinfoil hatty, just in case you guys are going to smile at this. When these guys went through this at the stock market on the Twitter call, they then pulled it into, remember when Aron tweeted, this is getting real tinfoil hat, when Aron tweeted that he was playing 4D chess. And then they talked about when Aron tweeted the Batman tweet, which had the bat signal in the sky, right? And you can say that was a crypto symbol. Fine, let's just say that. And then you take a look, there's the building that looked like the rook. So what these guys were saying was the rook to knight move takes roughly, there you go. So at the bottom, you have the what looks like the rook, right? So the rook to knight move in chess usually takes about 30 moves to reach. And what these guys were saying was, if you go back on the chart to when the max pain was at $30, and you take the chart from that day to the day this tweet came out, you can lay it over top and it matches exactly. So you've got the knight to rook move 30 days out. You go to 30 days on max pain, the chart launches, use the $ as crypto, tie it to the gold mine purchase. This is the tinfoil hats these guys are wearing. I love listening to this kind of stuff because I think it's fun. Do I think it's real? I have no freaking clue. But there's a little fun information for you guys. I'm repeating what I heard on the SOC market today, the SOC, S-O-C-K market. Go check them out on their Twitter calls. They were pretty fun. Anyhow.
Okay. Interesting. That sounds like it could work, right? The concept sounds solid.
They opened it up and said, guys, beat us up. And people tried, and nobody could come up with a conclusive, granted it was only over a couple hours and they were just reacting, but nobody could really come to a conclusive argument against to show how it could legally not work, right? So anyhow, interesting stuff. Yeah, found that fun.
That's pretty wild. What was the name of that channel, Pantheon?
The SOC market, S-O-C-K, and they have SOC hand puppets for all their icons on the Twitter. It's a Twitter, yeah.
Okay. The
Twitter
SOC puppets.
Okay. Hey,
the SOC market.
I want to know, Pantheon, what do you think, for the same thing you just said, what do you think about Citadel being in this company itself? Like, as far as the, the mining company, having the huge position in it and all that, do you think that has anything that, they might have a hand in that hat that could, screw up that theory?
To my knowledge, Citadel has 5% ownership stake in, help me out, guys. I've been talking all freaking day.
Mudrick.
Mudrick, right. So where is this large ownership stake that they have on this mine? I don't know where that is. They're not among the 90% of owners.
As far as I've seen some reports out there that they have they've opened positions themselves in Hycroft itself, the company.
What do you mean open positions?
Like they have they purchased shares.
Okay, 40% owned by Mudrick. We bought 43% today between AMC and Eric Sprott. So I'm not too worried about that.
What was it, 22 and 21 respectively?
There was equal shares. 22, was it 22.1 each, I think?
Okay.
From Sprout and from AMC, yes.
And Mudrick was the single largest investor with 40.83, but ours adds up to 43.6. So potentially, I heard Mudrick's still supposed to be the largest shareholder. Anyways.
That sounds right. I think you're right.
Yeah. Sorry, AB. I'm not aware of any other ownership stake they have in this.
So basically, my question was, since the influence that Citadel has with Mudrick, through what they have done to us in the AMC movement, I'm just asking you, do you have any thoughts? Do you think that they might influence anything, from Mudrick to try to screw over that theory that the SOC channel had brought up?
Oh, I see what you're saying. The theory that these guys brought up has nothing to do with HYMC because it's only tied to AMC, and AMC is saying we're going to back it with gold. And by the way, we've got 22% of this gold mine, so that's how we're backing it. None of it ties back to HYMC. The board of directors would have no say in any of this. It's strictly an AMC maneuver. Perfect. That's all that it. And it's an idea. They're throwing spaghetti to the wall to see what sticks, right? But still, it was fun.
It is. For sure.
Real quick, I want to break in with Richard Newswinder's comment. He says, Massalorian, you guys want the real scoop on Hycroft Mine? Watch Houston Wade's video from tonight's live stream. So I did see right before I was coming on when I was eating that he was live streaming. Richard, can you expand on that in the chat a little bit? So, because I obviously can't pull up the video and start playing it. But if you can expand on that, that'd be great. Let's see. AA don't want MOASS. MOASS equals majority of shareholders will leave. I will keep. Let's see.
I'll say this, Mass. If Adam Aron pulls out a popcoin that's gold backed, let's just have fun with that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would come back and buy stock after they sold. I know I would.
Okay, so speaking on that, I did want to pull up something. Someone was remarking that AB looks like Trudeau with his hat on backwards. You got a little bit. You got a little bit of that look. I'm not gonna lie. We know you're not him, but the facial features are a little similar.
Good one. Good one. Yeah.
Someone said, shoot, if I could find it here, damn it. And I will. I wrote that down to look into Houston's thing tonight. Someone was saying you need physical gold in order to back that up. That's the problem. Oh, and I can't find it now. Whoever wrote, oh, right here. Here's from Chris. He said the problem with the coin is it's redeemable in gold, so you better have fungible gold. So what's the issue with that, Pantheon?
That came up in the talk, and I'm trying to remember what the guy said back on that. It was like an hour and a half while I was getting dinner ready, so I can't remember the answer on that. Go. They recorded it. Von Starr was the moderator, the SOC market. You guys should go check out, listen to them for it. I think it was definitely. I want to give them the press.
I'll put it in the description, guys, when we clock off here, and I put this back up. Let's see. Common Sense Investor says we keep talking about what has to be done, or we can do something about it. So CSI, I think that's what we're all doing, right? As far as what more can we do besides talk about it, all we can really do right now. Now, I'm not saying there can't be more done, but as far as I took on this responsibility of reporting to everyone, trying to bring out facts, talk about macroeconomics and geopolitics, and bringing things to people's attention that possibly are being propagandized or misled, and also exposing the corruption that's in the market right now. And I think we're all doing a great job of that. Fantastic job. As far as taking it the next step, I agree there needs to be some things done. But what I keep coming back to every time we have this discussion is when you really break it down, the bottom line is nothing is going to change as long as the people who are at the top remain at the top. There is only so much we're going to accomplish as retail, as an organized group, as a community, as a family, fighting against the corruption. There's only so much we are going to accomplish without getting up to those next levels, meaning Gensler, DOJ, FBI, what you name it, all the way up to the administration with the SEC and Congress. It starts there, and the corruption works its way back, and we catch the tail end of it. So as far as moving forward and doing something, there's a lot of things we could be doing. But ultimately, what it boils down to is that the people in power want to stay in power. They want to continue to make money. And like the gentleman said, Gary Gensler's hands are tied. Why? Because of money. And that's it. And as much as we want to sit here and we do a lot of talking, I know sure as hell I do a lot of talking. I like listening a lot better. Some of you may not believe that, but I really do. But honestly, there's only so much that's going to be done with keyboards and microphones. Your most powerful weapon that you have in the next 6 months besides your wallet is your vote. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Nick YD says, actually, does anyone else want to talk about that? If anyone else, CSI, I mean, you guys, and CSI, feel free to make a suggestion. Or CSI, if you want to come on and talk about what you think we could be doing better, let me know, bro. You're in the comments. Carl J says Gensler is going to do squat for us. Does anyone want to? And by the way, Incognito is talking about the 200 EMA on 125.21. How it stayed above. Hold on, let me pull up this comment here. I think he's putting it up. Massalorian, if we go back in time, you will see that we crossed above the 200 EMA on 125.2021 and stayed above it until 12/1/2021. The last time we were this close to 200 EMA was on 12/31/21. AB, can you attest to that? Is that correct? Does that sound right to you? I see you shaking your head. I'm just wondering.
I mean, here's the reason why I'm shaking my head is because, and with all the respect to all the technical analysis guys, I've also made a video not too long ago talking about, all these you know, we've crossed in this movement so many death cross and, you know, red cross and golden cross, so many crosses that we've passed. And I feel like, my personal humble opinion, guys, that, you know, the technical analysis could probably help you get in a good buying point and maybe a selling point. But in a squeeze play like this, that is this manipulated this much, it's just going to come down to when the big guys above that are going to pay us basically decide that it's time, you know, that they can't do this anymore. That's why it's called squeeze. They can't carry this gimmicks that they're playing on and on and on further. So that's my thing on that. But as far as the numbers that he provided, I do assess that. I do think that it's true. It is true to the 200 AMA.
Okay. Pantheon, do you want to add to that? Or something, comment on the last thing that we talked about?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
I think AB nailed it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. So Dave says, okay, TA is trash. So I don't think that's what you were saying, right, AB? You're not saying TA is trash, right? So I think what AB is trying to say is when it comes to short squeezes, technical analysis will only take you so far. There are so many other things that you have taken into consideration, and you can do technical analysis till you're blue in the face. Where has that gotten you for the last 13 months? So
yep,
all those guys, and I appreciate what they do, and they are really good at it, like Wrench, and there's a couple other guys out there who do like amazing TA, right? And if you're a new investor, go watch those channels. Go watch, understand how to do technical analysis, because there are a lot of plays that you can get in and out of that are based on technical analysis when it comes to the chart. This is not it. This play is not one of those.
Well, and I'll throw out this. Rico, super smart guy. Rico was one of the big TA guys for a long time. He still is a TA guy, but Rico has moved into more DD than TA these days.
Is
Rico
he?
gets
Yeah.
it.
He's
Yeah,
yeah.
He's done some really good DD videos, and I'd like to see him keep doing that. I think Rico's a smart guy. I like him.
Yeah, well, think about it. When he switched over from gaming or whatever his channel was back in November there, late November, he went right from, I mean, he was trying to explain how we were already squeezing a couple times. And, he made some mistakes there, but I think he picked up quickly on how much the TA is non-significant in this world right now when it comes to AMC, unless you're looking to make daily moves on it. And that's something AB can talk to, right, AB?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the best time that technical analysis can be utilized or put to the test is when the whole market is on blockchain, probably technology, because now you don't have to worry about gimmicks or synthetics being played around or somebody manipulating any markets, because when the blockchain technology at Pantheon knows all about this. You've done good videos on that, especially Project Ion video. I really enjoyed that. Pantheon, by the way. Then technical analysis will have a standing. But if you're not getting all the numbers that accurately should be there, then what is your technical analysis going to lead to? It's not going to lead to because the numbers that you're using are not exact numbers that that coexist. So like for me personally, it played out really well when the buy point that I bought in at was a no-brainer. It was just kind of like hey, this thing is gonna take off no matter what. And yeah, I might feel bad in a way because a lot of people crucify people who play options. But in the June run-up, that was the biggest play I've ever been a part of, And I've talked to you, Massalorian, about that on the phone chat before. But I was loaded on that. And in a way, options are not necessarily just bad for the stock. They could be, in a way, if used properly and played properly, could influence the stock whether to go down or to go up.
Pantheon, you want to add to that?
I am down with AV, man. I'm digging. What he's throwing down, I'm in. I got nothing else to add to that. Well done.
Okay.
Much love, much love.
So CSI was saying Rico was right. In December, they switched the algo that day. I have a video showing how. And I would assume that's looking back. So I'm going back to Rico's videos 3 months ago. And I see here the catalyst. Let's see, an alternative AMC catalyst emergency press conference. This is massive. We hear your shorts love Max Payne. Endgame for AMC. Fidelity exposed. FU candle. Not a dead cat. Fibonacci. Yeah, he's got a lot of videos here. Tell me that the AMC squeeze hasn't started. This is back in December. I'm just reading the titles of the videos here. Prove me wrong. AMC is squeezing. So I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't tell me that the technical analysis is working so great for the squeeze. Maybe it's easier to follow the chart. And look, guys, if you can make money off following TA off someone, go do it. I wouldn't stop you. I would say, if someone's doing TA out there and they're helping you make moves and you can get in and out of plays and make money. I mean, I don't want to see it happen to AMC, but go for it. I mean, this is your chance to, cash in on some plays if someone knows what they're doing with TA. But as far as AMC itself's TA, where has that gotten us in the last 6 months? The price, it has had no effect on anything at all. Now, if you want to find patterns and algorithms and you can, and you're smart and you're onto that stuff, that's amazing. I mean, I don't have that kind of talent. There's no way I could sit there and break down the TA like you guys do. And I know CSI does some TA too. And he's really good at. I just I don't have that quality. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be doing TA, but people in the chat are asking about the MOASS. And TA is like an afterthought. I used to think TA was a lot more important before June. And then when I saw what happened in June, I realized that TA really doesn't mean shit when you come down to it. Excuse my French. and it does have its place in this world, right? It absolutely does. Just when it comes to a short squeeze, TA is only going to tell you so much.
TA, I believe, if I may add this, sorry, Massalorian.
No, you're good.
I believe CSI himself just recently, he mentioned that he bought this software that helps you buy points and sell points, and that's a great system. I mean, sometimes the technical analysis, like some people who want to learn more about technical analysis, sometimes the system itself can work it out for you in a way. But in a short squeeze, you're not going to be looking to scalp in a way for AMC. I mean, it's good for other plays like the Massalorian said, but that buying and selling at certain points, that's basically to scalp or to be a great day trader. So yeah, to be a great day trader, you definitely need to know your buying points and your selling points for sure. But as far as a squeeze play, it's a long investment. That's the idea of it.
And I hope that bringing us, yeah, no, that's great. Bringing us to Alan's comment, TA doesn't work with manipulation. I think that's a nice summarized point. Not that TA is garbage, not that TA doesn't work. It's that on a highly manipulated play that can be decided how it's going to move, it's very difficult for technical analysis to show you what's happening. It's a good tool to look at what's happened after the fact, but to predict, I think it's been difficult for it to accurately predict going forward. Not to say it's garbage, not to say there's no use for it, right? But Rico's adapting. He's moving into DD in addition to his DA, and I think that's great. He's a smart guy. All right, for sure. What do we got next here?
How's it going, Alan?
Me? Oh, I'm doing good.
Oh, no, sorry. From Alan Kumeski. He's just one of the followers of my channel, so I was just saying hey to him. That's it.
Oh, nice. Well, thanks for coming here, Alan. Are you restreaming this on your channel, AB?
I'm not. No, I just remember some of the names, some of the cool guys.
Alrighty, who do we got next? We got a lot of haters in here tonight.
Oh, I honestly, I haven't even been looking at the comments. You guys, especially your stories, Pantheon, have been very, very engaging. That's for sure.
Oh, I appreciate that. I just always find it interesting when we do these live streams and you get people that every 7th or 8th comment, they're bashing on you. Like, guys, you got something else to do. You should go do it. If you don't like what you hear in here, you just move on to the next stream, guys. We're here to tell our truths as they are. Edward J. Edward, I think you've nailed it. And I think Edward had a comment a bit earlier. I'll see if I can find it. It really stood out here as one I'd like to give some kudos to. You know, and we're not saying everybody else is wrong and we're right. But here's Edward J from well, about 3 minutes ago. Buy, hold, patience is the way. This has been our biggest weapon against these mofos. Edward J, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, I think what we have going on here is there's some people who consistently throw out dates, and it sets people up for expectations, right? And when it doesn't happen, it depresses you, and then you get built up for the next thing. And there's only so many times you can get excited and let down, excited and let down, and eventually it tires people out. And you know, it looks like we've got a lot of tired people in the overall community, you know, lately. And I think we can all attest that we've seen that, you know, our comments of our videos or the live streams we do. And the truth is, you know, I'm in this as long as it takes. And if we pop in 6 months, but I sell out 3 months from now, I'm going to look back and say, if I'd only waited 3 more months, I could have had, you know, generational changing wealth.
True.
Even if it popped a year from now, I'd look back and say, why did I give up? Right? Because right now, despite the fact somebody might say we are that it's just incognito who's attacking us here. It's fine, incognito. You know, in fact, bring it, because if you have something actually productive to say, throw the question out, incognito. Let's have a conversation about it.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Nobody needs to be in trouble here. Just incognito one keeps
I'm foaming at the mouth.
Here, and I would yeah, no, it's all good. Just give us something to discuss here, friend, and we'd be happy to do it. You know, but anyhow, I'm going to stop at that point, and now that you're here, we'll move on to some questions. We've got some good people here looking for help, right?
Yes. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up some things. By the way, if you made a video in the chat on John Wick Sniping's channel, drop a 1 in the chat. Your neighbor's dog says time is on our side. Don't think about it. Watched pot and never boils. Let's see. Joe is saying, Joe, good evening. He's saying that's why we have the Ape Father for cheers. Exactly. All right, here's Incognito. He's got a response. I said it already, and none of you looked at it. Incognito, what did you say? Just said it was not true. What are you speaking on? It's not true. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry about that. It's streaming pretty quick. We're not able to see everyone's comments every time. So.
Oh yeah, man. You guys got to understand. We only the comments go by so fast, guys.
Yeah. What was not true?
There's haters that come to these things just for the point to hate, and there's people that feel like they're just not being heard. And I just want to give this gentleman a chance to be heard. And if if that's all you want to say is it's fake, the squeeze is fake, then move on. Watch some Survivor. I think it's Wednesday. Survivor's on. That's a hell of a good show.
So we got Lorenda leaving the chat. Good night, Lorenda. Pam and don't forget the Truth made videos. Nice. CSI is asking if everyone's gone on and commented. Assuming that he means for the SEC website. Guys, if you haven't done that yet, you still have a couple, I think, 2 weeks to get in your comments on the SEC website to any of the transparency or short rules regulations they're trying to fix. You still got time. Good point, CSI. Angelina likes your comparison, Pantheon. Let me see here.
I'm a Survivor fan, by the way. I'm a big Survivor
fan. Are you?
Fan, so.
What about you, AB? Fan Survivor?
Big time. Yeah, I think I didn't watch all the seasons, of course. It just kept on going. But yeah, definitely a Survivor's fan. And in return as well, to all the people that hate on AMC and say it's not a squeeze, it's a lie. Well, guess what? All the media have said that it's a penny stock for 13 months. And it held its end much strongly than what they have forecasted. They said it's worth under $1. Well, it have not touched that. So yeah, that should be an answer back to the the lie about the squeeze.
All right. Christian Princess says, I know the TA for AMC is not really relevant, but it does appear to be showing signs of reversal. What do you guys think about that? As far as TA goes, are we looking at we're about to break out of this pattern that we're in right now? I mean, we've been saying that for months, right? That we've been ping ponging off this 40 to 14 to 20. And guys, just think about it. We've been doing that since we dropped below 60. We ping pong from 60 to 50, from 50 to 40, from 40 to 30. We've been ping ponging for a while now, and we're looking for that breakout. I mean, I'm looking for a $20 breakout. Once I see that, I think it's on. I don't know. What do you guys think? Go ahead. Step in, anyone.
I personally think, yeah, you're right, Massalorian. You nailed it. I'm looking for a 30 to 40% run up, possibly on 2 straight consecutive days. And that will confirm, that's just for me, because I look to always, I always have a little bit on the side to jump dump in with, or jump in with. Sorry for that. So if I see those, that's for me, that's a signal, a pattern good enough to tell me that, hey, we are going to be squeezing here, or this looks like the real run up, because there's been so many times where at the beginning of the week or at the end of the week, they will let it run 5, 10, 8%. And then, they'll take that back out. And it's just kind of a method for them to try to lure you in, to try to get as much, many people to buy in at whatever price it is. And like I said, if I see that on 2 consecutive trading days, or perhaps 1 day in between, then that's all I need to know as far as verification, because even 30 to 60% run up is still not much, given that it's at $15 or $14. That's only about even less than 6, like about $5 to $6. But that's good enough for me to further prove your point, Massalorian, to run over that 20, and it's a gigantic move forward that will force some players to get margin for sure, like the little guys on the side.
Yep. Pantheon, before I move on to this question, VChain's asking about GME moving forward. I forget. I don't think you have a position in GME, right, Pantheon?
No, I do not have a position in GME. I would not be the right person to give any commentary on that stock. I'm
AB,
aware of it.
do.
I'm up on it, but it's not my forte.
Okay. AB, you do, correct?
Yes, I do. In fact, I added more to my position after this week. After that, I was talking earlier about the straddle options that I had, and it paid out well. So therefore, I went ahead at a great price in the 70s, 78 something. Bought in stocks. So now, doesn't matter what the press release is, even though we kind of know that it's going to be a great earning report. But I'm gonna wait to see that, because if in case they crucify it a little more and go crazy, I guess I'll add even more then. That's for sure. But that was a great buying point for me at that point, to add more to the position.
Okay. Edward J says this reversal theory is coming from months. Has been coming for months, and nothing has happened so far. Edward, I'm with you. That's why when people ask me about that, I'm like, you tell me. Go back and look at the past. Tell me how much of all this TA and all these dates and prices have worked out. None of them have. Not one. I mean, we're talking about pennies on the dollars that we're getting down to on this TA. But as far as the overall picture goes, I don't know where that's not. All that did was drive me nuts when I was back watching that TA every day. That just made me a psychological mess. Go ahead,
one day it is gonna pop, and it'll be
I'll be ready.
It'll be interesting to see all the people that say I called it. That'll be fun. Before you move on to the next point,
yeah, I know.
You don't have to pull this up on the screen or anything. My favorite comment of the night so far, I just want to shout it out, from Harry Parrott. Going to short Survivor and go long on American Ninja Warrior. That's my favorite comment of the night. Well played, Harry Parrott.
I can't find that. Incognito says, Mass, why ban me? Incognito, I didn't ban you. I'm putting your comment up right now.
On the opposite, we said not to. We said give us something.
Yeah, we said don't ban you. We want to hear your argument, bro.
Let's talk.
You seem amped up. Let it out. Eric R says, exactly my thoughts. Nothing has worked out, so why should I think the actual squeeze will? Well, they haven't covered their shorts yet, right? We know that for a fact. That's got my hope alive. Until that happens, go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit too. So when we started this over 12, 13 months ago, January 2021.
Hold on. I'm sorry. 1 second. 1 second, Pantheon. Hold on.
Yes,
Let me deal with
yes.
this real quick. Incognito, what do you mean someone did? I'm pulling up your comments right now. How could you be banned if you're still coming through, bro? Think about it. Go ahead, Pantheon. Sorry.
No problem. Now I forget what the question was.
But
I think I'll recover
shorts
it.
covering.
Yeah, the shorts covering.
I completely lost my train of thought.
The shorts covering. I was saying, he said, well, what makes you think nothing's happened with these dates and times yet? And I said, well, the shorts still haven't covered yet. That's what still gives me hope.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get old, folks. I'm like Tony. I'm like 110. But in all seriousness, when we started this thing back in January 2021, and people have added into positions all this way across, right, throughout the entire 13, 14 plus months that we've been in this, none of us had been through this before. And I don't care if influencers say, I told you it was going to take this, but none of us knew, right? So as we've gone through this, catalysts and ideas have popped up and people latched onto them, and then it didn't work out. And you keep learning. First, not everybody on this play at first knew about rules. Not everybody knew about how they were shorting us with synthetic shares. Not everybody knew a lot of these things, right? And as it all came out, we've all learned and we've all grown. And as people join the play later, they get the benefit of all that knowledge that's there, plus the new stuff we discover all the time, right? And now we're getting to, you know, there was Elon, and then there was, and I'm not picking on any YouTuber, but there was Elon, and then there was, you know, Evergrande, and then there was, and then it was war, and all these things are actually still in play. Like, these are all still possibilities that could help pop this. This balloon can be popped from so many different directions, and this thing take off. And as everyone says, it'll be when you least expect it. Nobody saw nickel coming, and boom, over 100,000, right? We've got so many different ways this could happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if some now, and I'm not saying it's going to be a long time. I don't pick dates because nobody has a date on this thing. But eventually, we're going to learn something else. We're going to say, wow, we didn't know about that. And the point being, you know, there's all these little intervals along the way, and it feels like this has to be it because we're getting exhausted. We're getting tired in the play. And just stick with it, you know, hodl your shares. That I'm not telling you what to do. It's not my style, but that's what I'm doing. Right. And it feels like all these things are just not, they're all failing. They didn't fail. We just didn't quite understand as much. We know so much more today than we knew back in last July.
Oh my God.
We knew,
you kidding me?
We knew so much more in July than we knew back in February. Right. It's a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah. Like I've said a million times, no one knows what's going to happen, when or where, because this has never happened before in the history of the market. So you guys got to take that and understand that we are all just speculating 100% because we have never seen this before.
One good thing to keep the thought for everyone. You got to remember, guys, on that side, they're all talking to, you know, each other. Obviously, the DOJ talking about, you know, so far there's allegations of them swapping positions with each other, talking with each other. I mean, they're clearly being one hand, similarly to like what our movement is like, you know, that we're all in the same path. So if one guy covers from their side, that's a domino effect creation where it will bring the whole house down after. I mean, it's not gonna, no one is going to cover and the price does not move up. And that could easily trigger everyone else above them to bring the whole house down. So there's obviously a lot of, hypothetically speaking, obviously, there's a lot of talks in between and chatter between these guys, and, you know, knowing when they will cover, they'll probably all cover at the same time, where one after another, you know, they just trying to work that out. And I don't know how they're going to do that, honestly, because no matter how you skin this, it's ugly and disturbing and really nasty for them. It's really going to be ugly. Right. Like, who's going to be the first one out? Because the price for the second person is going to be much higher, and even that for the third and the fourth, it's crazy. I can only see why there's talks about Citadel dumping their position over to someone else and perhaps trying to make the guy look like the sacrificial lamb to this whole situation, and just kind of putting his face on top of it. So that's very, very possible. And you guys got to just remember that when one guy covers, it's going to be a chain effect to bring the whole house down after.
Dominoes, all the way down. Yep. That's what I envision as well. I just think it's going to bring the whole corrupt system right down on its own head.
For sure.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Someone want to say something? Did someone want to say something? Or no?
No, we were just agreeing with you. I said for sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Melvin is a patsy. All right, I'm trying to get a question here somewhere. Ed Backwater says, I thought that Citadel got rid of their short positions. So have we actually seen any documentation to back that up?
No.
Okay.
No.
We're clear on that, right?
Yeah, I think it might have been a couple of guys in a gym who were claiming that they're brokers for a big brokerage firm. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what story that was. I'm kind of being a jerk when I say that. The reality is no, there is no evidence to show that Citadel offloaded their short positions to smaller Ds.
Yes.
Sorry to report that.
This is exactly what I said in that answer previously, hypothetically speaking, because I know that Lou came out and said that to his following, and he reported that. I think he was one of the first people that said that, Lou's fashion. I don't know what you've been told, but somebody's dumping their short positions on someone else. I hooked you up with $1 billion in the beginning of the year, referring to Melvin. Now it's time for you to take this, and then if you take the fall, you'll go to the islands and then come back a year or two later, and we'll set you up again.
All right, hold on. I gotta get Stevie because he is fired up right now in the chat. Fired up. All right, Steve Rojas asked, "Look at what happened to GREE. Heavily shorted and nothing happens. I'm all in AMC, but damn, look at these other players and nothing happens. Why expect something to happen here?" And Steve, we're gonna answer that question for you. Hold on. I just want to pull up because you just put up something else. And this is the answer to your question. I don't even know what GREE is. So if someone can help me, thank you, AB. Go for it, bro.
Okay. So the company itself, I was involved in the SPRT. If you guys remember when it had its run up before it got purchased by GREE. That's the company that basically took over and changed the ticker symbol from SPRT to GREE. And that was a great play, like personally for me, SPRT was. But for those that stuck around for longer, it literally obliterated so many people. I remember those days when it happened. And as far as like all the shorts and everything, it is nothing close to AMC's short interest, or even how many shorts is on it or on that boat, That's my intake as far as on that, because I just remember it as a transaction. That's how I remember GREE.
Okay.
And for more of a general perspective, there are stocks out there that have extremely short positions. It doesn't mean that they're going to squeeze.
With high short interest,
CS trades could probably pull you up a list of 20 stocks in a snap of a finger that show you much higher short positions than AMC. It doesn't mean just because it's heavily shorted that it's going to have a
squeeze play on it.
Right. 100%. There needs to be catalysts. There needs to be things that work to it. And, there's a lot more attention on AMC and GME than I'm sure there was about whatever that stock was.
Yeah.
GRE look was at SPRT. Yep.
Yeah. Look at the threshold list every day. I mean, there's so many stocks that are mad.
I know.
And unfortunately, nothing ever happens.
Yeah. So I apologize about that, Steve. I didn't realize that that had changed over from the ticker symbol had changed over. When did that happen? You said in the fall last year, or sooner, like earlier.
It was somewhere, I think, around in the summer, like August. I think August or September, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was in the fall. Hold on. Alan is saying, can we explain something? Hang on, Alan. I'm getting to you. Can one of you guys explain to Incognito how shorts are reported? So Incognito, I saw you asked a question up here about the short interest somewhere. If I can find it. Here. Can you see naked shorts on the chart or in the short interest? No, Incognito. That is not included, right, guys? We can all agree on that.
Yeah, we can agree on that. And let me just give a shout out hello to Papa Denaro and Scarlett.
Papa Denaro.
Hi guys.
Are they in the chat? Oh yeah, they are. Papa Denaro.
They're watching with. Yeah, they're watching with Tony. Hi guys.
Can you do me a favor, guys? If you are watching right now, please smash the like button from whatever city or town you are in. I think that's the first time I've ever asked to smash the like button on a live stream. That's fun. I like that. Susan says now GRE is going to be up 20% in the pre-market. Exactly. See what we do here? We're going to get some runners for you guys in the morning. Let's see. So Ape Nation 801 says, what do we think about HYMC? So we've talked about this a couple times tonight, bro. Let me see. I'll put your question up. Hang on, because we have answered this a couple times, but I know people are joining as they come in. Let's see. What were you testing my skills, Incognito? He said correct. Thanks. Hold on. Where is he here? I can't find it now. Damn it.
He's keeping us honest.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he was checking my knowledge. We are leading discouraged online AMC holders to your live streams for motivation. Yeah, that's a huge thing for me, right? I really want to try to be as positive as possible because there is so much FUD out there and so many people have been let down so many times. It's like I don't have the heart to go out there and just spew whatever comes off the top of my head, whatever I'm feeling that day about the stock or the play or the community or myself. It's very difficult for me to do that. And, you know, I'm trying to keep everyone motivated because I have financial stake in this and I want to see us win. After a year now of holding this damn thing and all the shit they've done to us, I want to beat them. Bottom line, I want to win this fight. I want to fix the market. I want to be able to invest again and not worry about all this BS that's going on and just making money again based on fundamentals, on supply, demand, revenue, earnings. I don't want to play this game anymore. It's getting old quickly. Angelina says, also, I agree. It's exhausting. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I just jump in on that last part. That's also why some of us got to form this kind of group that right? We don't all think alike, right? Like Froggy and CS Trades 101 Cam, they're a bit more alike than versus kind of like me and Massalorian. Like we're not the guys that are going to sit there and go over charts. We dig into more of the DD and so like what we've built is a group of people that are like-minded in the sense that we're all positive. We're all looking for the MOASS. We've got Massalorian, CS Trades 101, Phil for Real, Froggy Styles, Common Sense Investor, Tony Denaro. We got AB Investments, Lordax, Nemesis, Sheldon. We got a bunch of people here. We got John Wick sniping, and we're working together now because we want to bring that positivity to you guys, and that's what we're all about. So if you've got people that are questioning things and they just need a bit of a pep, bring them over. If they've got serious DD questions, bring them over. If they just want to shoot the breeze and put on tinfoil hats, bring them over. We're happy to talk.
I have found myself multiple times in other people's videos, comments, answering people's questions. I'm not joking. Many times, just going through and knowing that this person is not going to go answer the question and just jumping in and answering the question for them. I'm curious if anyone ever found me from answering a question on someone else's video. I've done it many times.
Yeah, the good thing too is that we all have the thing is that it's coming from us, and we also have a lot at stake as far as the play as well. So everybody has something of some sort of stake in this play. So to me, to report to you or any of us guys reporting to you, we're also reporting to ourselves. You know what we're reporting. You know, so we benefit and we lose together in this case. So I don't see any loses, but if you're looking for any motivation, you know where to find it now. You know, we're all here for you.
Incognito says, Massalorian, good point. Good point, bro. Massalorian says TA is the only way to know how close you are, plain and simple. Okay, Incognito, then let us know based off your TA, how close are we? Since you have the answer. Please let us know how close are we? Are we 6 weeks, 2 months, 24 hours? Where are we at based on your TA? Give me the date. If that's the only way to know how we're close, how close are we? Let's see. Julie says now down 40K and bought more this week. We'll hold until it blows. And this is the shit I'm talking about, right? Julie's got 40,000 that she's down right now. I know there's other people out there who are down that much money who got in this after June. Now, Julie, I don't know when you got in, hun, but clearly you're down right now. So you got in under, over $14, whatever we closed at today. And you know, these are the people that we are holding for, right? These are the people that we don't want to get left in the dust. The reason why we are doing this is for people like you guys who have been holding this, and it works both ways, right? Works both ways. Catzone says down 25K. I'm in the same boat, if not more. Let's see.
I got a couple to jump in on if you don't mind.
Oh, by the way, I don't mean down 25K. I'm down 25K from the peak. I'm not down 25K in my shares. Go ahead, Pantheon.
Yeah, Tony's asking a question here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. He's asking, what if these people that they're going to send over to the channel, what if they're only looking for hopium? And I think in that case, there's a few monuments you might want to direct them to. So I wanted to throw that one out there.
There's a couple.
And then Samira also asked a question, but what will all of this working together being and sorry, hedges don't care? I understand what's being said there. What all this working together will do, because hedges don't care. Hedges don't have to care. But look at what John Wick's sniping and Tendy Time and all the people that are getting YouTubers to now jump in and make their videos and tell their stories, right? What about that?
Yeah, man, what a good idea, right?
Right?
Great idea.
We're getting voices heard. We're getting more people talking, and the more noise we're making, the better this is going to be. So, you know, I truly believe that you know, we are making a difference in talking together. Besides that, if you can trust any of us in this group, you know that we're all on the same page. And if you don't trust any of us, then there's other people that you can go listen to if that's what you're into. So we're just trying to give you guys a safe place to come get some quality DD and hold us accountable for bringing receipts.
Okay. Thank you, Pantheon. Incognito says, Mass, I just told you to go look at the 200 EMA daily chart. When the stock price and the 200 EMA meet the same, we already started a reversal. We are above the 200 EMA on the 30-minute. All right, then we're on our way then. Good to know, Incognito. So you're saying we're ready to break out? I'm ready for it. I am ready. I am ready. Chris Hamburg says, will the sanctions set it off? Sanctions for Russia? Chris, they've really pressed hard right now on the Russian oligarchy. As far as sanctions go for Russia, they are at its peak right now, as to the point where Russia has flipped sanctions on Biden and Jen Psaki and the rest of them. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I don't think they can squeeze the ruble any harder than it's being squeezed right now. Of course, they can always add more things, right? Or we could get into this no-fly zone, and then we're into World War III, guys. And that's just something I don't even want to get into right now. Incognito says charts matter. I agree, Incognito. 100% charts matter. And I agree with you. Charts matter to a degree, right? But really, what has the chart done for you since January 29th of last year on any of these stocks? As far as the MOASS goes, I understand on the day-to-day basis, but we're talking about a lot of investors here who this is their first stock probably they've ever bought. It might be the only stock that they hold in their portfolio. They have absolutely no experience in the market, and they have just bought and hold since they heard about AMC. Let's see. Here's a good comment. Hang on. I lost everybody on video. Before the squeeze happened, please have a financial planner and a good accountant. 255 Placid DDR has this comment, and great comment, man, or woman, whichever you are. definitely think about what your long-term goals are. And, you know, if you don't feel comfortable with what where you're going to invest your money after you make it, definitely go get a financial planner, find a good accountant, someone that can help you with capital gains and all that. Or you could move to Puerto Rico for 6 months and you won't have to pay any capital gains. That's what I'm doing.
And Mass, we've got some
Yeah.
new young people kicking off their YouTube channels, and our group is helping them out. Sheldon being one of those people. He worked with Froggy for a bit. He's had some help from CSI. He's been on CSI's channel a couple times. A lot
He's
of
in the
these
chat.
guys, I don't know if he's in the chat. No, but I'm just about the comment that's on the screen. So one of the things that he's going to look at, and there's some channels that'll start doing this. They're not suggesting that the squeeze is over, but they're going to start talking about things you can do after the squeeze, or even in any situation, to kind of do wealth preservation. And it's not going to be the only focus of their channel. But what we got to be careful of, guys, is when they put out those videos, we don't need people responding back saying, we haven't MOASS yet. Why are we talking about this? You talk about those things now. So when the time comes that you don't expect, you know what your plan is. That's why you talk about these things now. So we've got some new people kicking off stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they produce.
Yeah, guys, and try, if you can, try to support those guys. I know it's really tough to get to everyone. And believe me, I mean, just trying to get in just our circle of guys to watch all their material, it's almost impossible. But, you know, if you can show them some support, definitely do that. And if you can turn that camera on and make a video, go do it. Shout out to one of my guys, Airman4343, who made a video, and he did a great job on it. And I've known him a long time. He's been in this play. Seems like a smart guy. He was in the service. So shout out to you, Airman, because he did a great job on this video. And I appreciate everyone taking the time to go do that. There's so much at stake here, guys. So any little bit helps. You're not going to hear anything different out of me. Some people are saying about Puerto Rico checking in. I'm with you guys. We'll all be on PR partying. I'm a big fan of Spanish ladies, that's for sure. Derek A says, tinfoil hat, watched Jimmy Dore's stream last night. Sounds like Saudi Arabia might let China buy oil in yuans. How would that affect our stock market? Let me say this, Derek. No, I'm just kidding. It's not tinfoil hat. That's definitely in the process of happening right now. Saudi Arabia has been making deals with Russia since last year, as well as Nigeria has, a couple other big oil-producing countries. They are thinking about doing that switch because right now, like you said, they need to use American dollars to convert to buy those commodities. And once that doesn't become the standard going forward, it's not just the market that's going to be affected. Everybody's going to be affected. That's the petrodollar is so much deeper than that. We're just scratching the surface with the market. That's some serious pain on this country. Because right now, we have two things that allow us to be as profitable as we are and as powerful as we are. And that is, we have the petrodollar as the standard right now for trading commodities. And we also have the most powerful military in the world on its own. But guess what? Against China and Russia, there would be no World War III. That would be a very ugly fight. We don't want to get involved with that. So all these people, all these screaming from the top of their lungs that we need a no-fly zone and, you know, we need to do all these things and NATO should invade. That's not going to help the petrodollar in any way, shape, or form. Just remember that. As much as they say, and they sit up there and tell you in the State of the Union address, oh, we're squeezing the Russian oligarchy. We got the ruble down 30%. What comes around goes around, Joe. Don't forget that, brother. Don't forget that. Let's see. Soel Dio Tempo says, man, the chat's going fast again. Hold on. I wanted to get that last one. Saudi afraid the woke mob coming for them. Oh, Solo Dio Tiempo here says, after the MOASS, I've never come back to the market. Not going to pay back from me. So someone said that the other day in the comments, and it was when I got pulled away from the gold thing. But I said to them in the comments that if anything out of line happens with this play, and we see them do something like they did back in January, I will pull every single dollar I have out of the market immediately. Immediately. I don't care what I take for a loss. That's why people. So the gist of the comment was, when it gets down to $3 or $4, you watch people sell. I won't sell. I won't sell. But when that happens, I will pull every effing dollar out of the market, every single penny. They can kiss my ass. You guys want to talk on that? Go ahead. What are you guys' thoughts about after the MOASS?
I mean, honestly, and with Pantheon's permission, I want to go first on that one. The thing is, no
Pantheon,
one
you
knows.
okay with that?
I think he's probably not even on right now. I think he got interrupted.
No, I'm here. AB, you don't need my permission, my friend. The floor is yours.
I appreciate you, brother. We also got to keep in mind that no one knows how the market is, in what shape is going to look like after the MOASS. I mean, it could be all over the place, like obliterated to pieces, left and right. I mean, I do personally believe that there could be a crash happening, or should be a crash happening when all the theory of the MOASS comes to fruition. But I personally will step out of that, just waiting to see what happens with the crypto market. And then I'm going to give it some time to get all the pieces fixed into the market, like all the things they're waiting on as far as blockchain technology and everything, things that we're waiting on until 2024 and 2023. When all these things come to in effect, and it's a completely different market, and we know what rock are we going to lay on, then that's when I'll probably feel confident about going in. But if they screw this play up for everyone, then obviously the market will be no place for anyone at that point. I mean, it's clearly a market without a sheriff in it, and you talk about millions of people getting robbed. This will be the robbery or the heist of the century, that's for sure.
If it isn't already. Isn't already.
Yeah.
Pantheon?
Yeah, after we get our attendees, I'm definitely going to be waiting some time before I would consider putting my money back into the market. I'm not giving advice. That's just what I'm going to do. I figure I'll go run a island nation somewhere. There's a few that could use my help, I'm sure.
You want to be a dictator? A Trudeau?
Oh, hell no. No.
By the way, Pantheon, did you hear him speaking yesterday about I forget who he was speaking in front of, but he went on and gave some speech about how free and freedom and democracy. Did you see it? I don't remember where it was, but it was yesterday. Did you see it?
Someone said I'm repeating what repeating what Boss said. I have no idea if Boss ever said that. That's a line from Ari Gold in the movie Entourage. That's what I'm repeating that from. If Boss said that too, I have no idea. Just so you know, Lupe. Yes, I did see Trudeau's speech. Trudeau right now is making the rounds through Europe and telling nations about how they've lost their way with democracy and need to get democracy back in. Meanwhile, the things that he's pulled in Canada are the complete opposite of everything he's saying. So it made me sick to my stomach hearing that.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
Oh, Lupe, you weren't going to about me? Damn it, because I was going to put out there if anyone could tell me what movie that line was from, they'd get the Pantheon prize for the day. But I'll have to think.
Are you giving out prizes?
I'm giving out Pantheon prizes.
Really?
You haven't got one yet.
No, I'm waiting. It should be in my inbox right now. I'll go look after we sign off. Let's see here. Russia. I think this says Heidi Goldberg. Horatio, sorry. Russia can't even take over Ukraine. America would have conquered that in like 7 hours. I'm going to tell that to the Vietnamese and the Afghanis. Took us 20 years and we still pulled out and lost people on the day we pulled out. Many people in Europe know what happened in Canada. Hold on. Here's a good one. Yeah, we are a constitutional republic, Martiman. Correct. Well, we're supposed to be, at least. Let's see. Pantheon. When is little Justin going to be recalled and kicked off his throne? Yeah, when are they going to... How do you get rid of him?
We have an interesting dynamic in Canada. I won't go on it too long, but Justin has a history of blackface, of saying inappropriate things like he admires dictatorships in China, and yet he gets voted in, and it's bad. And even now, when people talk about the restrictions and what the trucker protest was about, there's plenty of Canadians who still think that everything he's doing is just fine. You know, basically got, I'm not going to go to any further than that. There's some people in Canada that I think are too trusting, too nice, and need to wake the frick up. I'll leave it at that.
You know what I think your biggest problem is, to be honest with you?
Do tell.
I think that your biggest problem is you guys have no Second Amendment. I think that's the only thing that separates the two of us, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the only thing that right now is holding back the Biden administration from doing some crazier things is that one fact, is that they know that we're an armed populace. And a lot of people don't take that very seriously. I could be wrong, but that's my take on it. It's the only thing that right now is keeping us from any kind of dictatorship.
Yeah, well,
forming.
they got rid of them in Australia, and they went on a big banning spree in Canada. So, you know,
China, when Mao came into power, they took all the guns.
I think you're onto something.
I think so. I know it's not something we talk about normally in AMC, but you guys know my videos.
No.
I find politics fascinating.
And I learn from Mass every time we chat, because I'm up here in America's attic. So I'm just absorbing what comes.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I see that being the only thing that separates us right now is an armed populace, to be honest with you. Let's see. Canadians being too trustworthy and nice. Shocking. I all the Canadians that I've ever met have been like the sweetest people. It's crazy.
They didn't hear me talking to Blue Ice earlier on Froggy's stream.
Oh, really? You broke ranks?
I broke ranks for one comment. Froggy nice, gave me the finger. Yeah, Froggy's awesome.
Nice. Let's see. Hold on. Hal is asking about extreme gains, I believe. And this is my fault because I still haven't gotten on this. I'd love to hear any of your thoughts on Chuck at Extreme Gains. Have any of you watched him and taken the time to wrap your head around what he's accomplishing? Do not mean to spam, but really curious. So people have brought this up to me many times, and I'm such an ass for not doing this, but I haven't gotten into this. I don't know why it always gets pushed to the side, but there's always something that comes before this. I'm writing it down again, and I've probably written it down 5 times already. Has anybody watched Extreme Gains that can speak on that while we're here? No? Okay.
I know CSI watches him and is a believer in what they're doing at Extreme Gains. I haven't spent time digging into it, guys, because it literally takes me days to put a video together, and the amount of deep diving that I do, it just eats up all of my time, plus the, you know, chatting with these gentlemen and trying to stay up to speed on what some other people are saying so we can answer questions. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to spend time checking them out. I've heard good things, though.
Yep, me too. Same here. And Jay Beebs, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you very much keeping the lights on. And the time invested is time well spent as far as I'm concerned. This is all of our investments, right, that we got hanging on the line here. And Chris keeps asking, when are we going different calibers, Chris? Slow down. That's the last thing I want, is an actual firing in the streets. Nobody wants that, right? James Donahue says Extreme is deep. AB, have you been able to check him out at all?
Extreme Gains? No. Yeah. I've had some of my following tell me to watch his videos, but like Pantheon said, I just didn't have the time to go for that, really.
Yep. Aubrey says he's opened up eyes for sure. I'm assuming she's talking about Extreme Gains. Let's see.
Can anybody in the comments? Can anybody in the comments say something about as far as what is the big deal of what Extreme Gains is brought forward?
He's saying here, Froggy. I don't know, Froggy. If you're there and you want to hop on, I'll send you a tweet. Yeah, someone can get it deep into this. Angelina says, I hope we all get TO our investment. No firing in the streets. Yeah, that's the last thing I want. You don't want a civil war because the people with the guns, it would be quick. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a long drawn out thing. Because they overtook the Capitol with stolen police shields. They want it. They keep asking for it. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Annie says something about extreme gains here. Hold on. Annie is saying extreme gains. She's commenting about him. Blows my mind. You have to see what he's doing. All right, we're gonna have to definitely check this out 100%. And I've been meaning to do it, so I apologize, guys. That's me slipping on that. People have mentioned to me many times. So Liz says has a snake algo. Okay, so that's what he works at, huh? He's worked in. Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for CSI Froggy and Cam to that I got to go check out a video. I'm gonna have to drop somebody else to take him on. So I kind of like my time now.
I think it will be Pantheon. You could stay around. I think it will be probably my time, actually closer to my time to go ahead.
No. I don't mean tonight. No, I don't mean tonight. I'm talking about just overall YouTubers' time and day to watch them, right? I'm pretty much maxed out. So I'm going to wait for other people to tell me a video of his to watch and I'll go watch it. But to just get into his whole catalog, I can't do that.
Yeah, like we're trying to take turns here on watching others' content, trying to follow each other. It's like there's so much going on behind the scenes to try to break down every individual channel and what everyone is doing. I mean, you know, you would never, you could be up for days. It never ends. It's constant floods of information coming in. Then you have to take that information, understand it, filter out all of the bullshit, try to get the facts, and then present them to your audience, to the people that you're trying to get your message across to. It's a lot in your mind going on at once. You got a lot of different thoughts. At the same time, remembering how much responsibility you have to these people who are watching you, who are putting their faith in the information you are giving them to make sure it's correct.
Terrence is telling us, watch the video he dropped today. So if that's in relation to extreme gains, okay. Thank you, Terrence. I will check that out tonight.
He says there's a link here to his video tonight. Okay, so I'm just gonna watch tonight's video. Is it midnight yet? No, almost. Becca Verma says extreme gains charts are looking like a huge gap up end of March, April 1st to around 40. All right, I'm ready. I am ready. And AMC is saying, Becca, I hope you're right. I hope he is. So man with a plan, we've talked about this multiple times tonight. We'll bring it up again. Talks about an AMC dividend and NFT. Go back, watch about what, an hour ago, Pantheon, when we brought this up. What'd you say?
Well, yeah, we talked about some crazy tinfoil hat ideas. But, you know, to just answer that question directly, Aron clearly said there would be no dividend at least before fall 2022. So nothing's happening before Q3 at the earliest possibility. And I wouldn't even expect it then.
Yeah.
Now,
so guys, just understand that it's a ways out if it's happening. I know everyone, I mean, literally every day I get either a comment, an email, a text, or something from someone asking about NFTs, I swear, and dividends. Let's see. When horse, man, you guys are funny. You guys are funny in the chat. Watch the snake theory. Daily vids are hard to comprehend without. Okay, so the snake theory is what extreme gains is all about. This is something with the algo.
Okay. If that's in the title of the video, great. That'll be easy to find. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, thanks, Al. Again, I like that it's called the snake theory, right? It's not the snake, the definite snake, or the snake I can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's see here. Time really goes by fast trying to get ready for this. One way whim to check Carl. Thanks both of you. Sleep now. Carl J says meeting. Yeah, the chat's been pretty good tonight, man. Thank you guys for keeping it pretty clean. And I noticed you guys answering questions for each other in the chat, and just know that the guys on the stream appreciate you guys answering questions for each other while we're trying to take on this part. There's some of you in there who are helping each other out, so thank you guys for doing that, because we can't keep up with everything, right? Macro micro algo theory, one projects the other. They seem to predict the path of the snake algo, Corbett says. All right, Corbett, we're gonna have to definitely take a look into this and see what's going on. My girl Liz says, one thing's for sure, we all have more good friends than we've ever had ape strong together. Yes, Liz. Liz is one of my moderators, so shout out to her. Pam was in here earlier. I saw Javi, I think, for a second, then he left. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Thanks, J Beebs. Appreciate you, man. Incognito says Massalorian ViewDirect has the best system. 1348 cross is the best in my opinion. And they do that what on his Discord, Incognito? They have a Discord for that. I'm not sure how that works with Discord or Patreon, how they get paid for that, but I'm wondering what is it are they charging for that or how does that work?
Yeah, it's on a Discord. They charge a fee to be on it, and it's got nothing to do with AMC. So, yeah.
Okay. Kiwi Girl says, wasn't AMC going to do a share distribution in 2022 that was deferred from last year? No.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
No, Adam Aron asked for 500 million shares, and then he saw the voting results and knew we weren't approving that. He switched course to ask for 25 million shares, and then in interview with Trey, and interview number 2 with Trey, made the statement that, and they filed it, said we would not issue any shares if this is approved for the calendar year of 2021. But at no point did Adam Aron say we are prepared to issue shares and we're delaying it till 2022. So there is no knowledge from AMC today of them doing any sort of share dilution.
AB, are you playing GME's earnings tomorrow?
I played them with the straddle option previously, and with that, coming in the profits, and it was a nice turnaround for me. I decided to go ahead and take that and play even better by up in my position as far as stocks with GME. So I'm using their system to maximize my position in the market, and to me that feels like a little nice stick it to them, especially to the market maker. But yeah, like a lot of people who are playing this, just beware, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, none of us are, but beware of the option chain, because there's a lot more to it than just long uncovered calls or puts. As most people just see puts and calls, there's a lot more in that world, and you just have to dive into it more to, get a better understanding before you could jump in that world.
And
okay, I better jump. Sorry, no, not about that. Jeffrey's saying I'm incorrect. Not calling me out, but he's saying I'm incorrect. They don't charge for the Discord. My apologies, Jeffrey. I'm not in that Discord. I heard that it was a paywall, so my apologies.
Okay, so it's just a free thing they got. Okay.
I heard different, but I believe Jeffrey.
Yeah, I thought I saw on his live stream the other day he was talking about the price, and he was saying, "No, I'm not going to give away for free. I'm not going to give the same information away free." Maybe he's talking about something else, but he was like, "No, man." He's like, "That's how if you guys are making money on it." But he could have been talking about something else. I happened to jump on his live stream for like 20 minutes. Let's see. Whimsy Chick says, "Oh, CSI Live. Gotta go mod. See everyone tomorrow. Good night, Whimsy Chick. Have a good night." Fred Smith says they charge for Discord $17 a month. Okay. Carlos. Good evening, Carlos. First time I see you in the chat, man. Welcome. They call us dumb money, but dumb money unmasks their criminal behavior. Right, Carlos? Yeah, right. They can call us dumb money. They can't call us dumb DD. Definitely can't do that. Let's see. The only call I'm interested is in margin call. Exactly. Right on, bro. Right on. Let's see. Okay, Jeff's explaining this a little deeper. Thanks, Jeff. They have free Discord for the method and the chat, but what they charge for is the alerts to 400 tickers. Okay. So that explains that. Ed Glue says we all know AA will add shares. I don't know that, Ed Glue. I don't know how you know that. Unless maybe you were on the call with Cam when they were talking about buying the gold mine.
Oh, don't go there, Mass. Did you see the
what?
the tornado that set off this morning?
Well, he talked to him, right?
No. No. All right.
No, I'm joking. I know that. Of course, I'm kidding. Of course.
But for your viewers, we had to defuse this bomb earlier. So CSI,
yeah, what happened?
So Adam Aron put into the gold mine, and CSI put out a video with a joking title trying to get Cam from CS Trades 101's attention to join him on his live stream. And the title was Cam AA must have talked to you, because Cam was talking about gold just a few days ago. Cam was doing a live stream with Froggy, and Cam, when he heard this, jokingly said, and he's maybe a little dry with his sense of humor for some people who don't know Cam. I think Cam's great. He jokingly said, "Oh yeah, AA called me, and yeah, he listened to me, and I told him to buy a gold mine." But then Blue Ice took that clip of audio from Froggy's live stream, and he tweeted that to Adam Aron, saying, "You need to answer for this, Adam Aron." And that set off. I'm serious. That's why I told him where he could shove it on the live stream earlier today to Blue Ice, because it's just spreading FUD, and people took it serious. People actually believed that Cam was being serious about that. So guys, he was kidding. Maybe it was a bad joke and bad humor. And what we said in the Froggy stream, I'll repeat here. And Mass already said this earlier. We take this serious. We're here trying to get you guys quality DD with receipts, and we're trying to show you that the information we're bringing to you can be trusted. We're not telling you to buy. We're not telling you to sell. We're not telling you what to do with your shares. We're just trying to provide you with the best information to be informed for your own personal financial decisions. And we take that DD very seriously. So if the reminder to the team was, guys, if you got to be more careful what you say, because people can misconstrue it and take it out of context. And for that, we apologize. And there was a joke. Nothing was offended. Nothing was intended by it. And we'll be more careful as a group what we say. It was more of an inside joke that we were joking about, but it came out in the live stream. So we take this serious. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And Blue Ice clipped that audio content, correct? With no context?
Yeah, he took the lowest quality video segment to embarrass Froggy, and then clipped where Cam says that AA called him. So Froggy's he's gonna clip the larger segment so you guys can see that. No.
So Blue Icy's got to be short on AMC, right? There's no other option.
Well, then point, people should check out Froggy's styles. He's got a couple of videos that went out today or are going out today that will address that exact point that you've just brought up.
Okay.
Check out Froggy Styles videos from today.
He did mention, if I may add, he did mention on his Twitter, and I did have a little rant with him on that. He said something about him scalping the play left and right on the run up. So he claims that he has a lot of shares on there, and on the run up, he's just going to be scalping it left and right. So as far as what he said from his mouth, quoting him, that's exactly what I've heard from him saying.
Hal Burns is saying the TA insulting to DD. I apply both one of three parameters TBH. No, TA is not insulting to DD at all. You do you, bro. You do you, right?
Everybody's got to that. Not sorry, Mass. Sorry.
Good. Hammer, good night.
I interrupted you, Mass. Sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
I just want to say, no, they're not insulting to each other. That's why CS Trades 101, Cam and I work really well together. Cam's more of a looking at the chart, looking at how they're happening. He can tell you where things are going to look for the week. He reads it. I don't do that to his level. I'm the DD guy who digs in and gets information, right? Which is where we have a good synergy. If we were all the same, this would be a pretty boring show, right? So
yeah,
Mass has this group of 8 people, and they all have their various things. CSI's got theories that not everyone agrees with. I have things I say that not everyone agrees with, but at the end of the day, we all respect each other and we come together. So
yep, no one agrees with my politics, and I still talk about it and put out the videos. So I know what it's like. I said, Hammer, good night. Boston Strong says, what do we think about putting some money into HYMC warrants? Boston Strong, good evening, buddy. You guys have a take on that one way or the other? I'm staying away from HYMC in every way, shape, and form, Boston Strong, for right now. I have not done enough DD into their numbers or looked into them enough to make a call on that. I'd be lying to you if I said I did.
I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Same here. The closest I will get to it is by buying more AMC.
There you go. I like that answer. I like that answer.
Yeah. And we're just gonna double down on that because we did it on Froggy's one too. And when anyone's talking about talking about that mine stock, right? Like nobody is saying sell AMC. If anyone is saying HYMC, you should get into it. Nobody is saying sell AMC and get into it. This is the prom queen. You don't dump the prom queen.
Nope, absolutely not. Someone was asking, don't forget the truth said, what is the Avatar Pantheon? Do you want to describe what that is?
That is the Pantheon building in Rome. It is, in my opinion, I'm an architect. In my opinion, that is the perfect combination of geometric shapes to form an amazing building. It was built, well, ancient Roman times, and it's been basically it's been taken over by various different peoples that ran the area for multiple different gods. It's been I don't know how else to say this. Basically, it's the best example, a most well-preserved example of ancient Roman architecture. And they had a Roman concrete mix that it can't seem to repeat today. Buildings today last 50 years, and this thing's still standing in its glory.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece of architecture. It's my favorite building in the world.
How is it they can't break down what they made that cement out of? With all of the technology we have these days, how can they not break down what actually consisted inside of that cement?
I asked the same question to my professors way back in the day when I was in structures. I said, why can't they chip a piece of concrete off and just analyze it? And I don't remember the answer. They had an answer.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a fun fable. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that's interesting. Let's see. Lord Nemesis says he got burned by Prague and beat by AG. Yeah, I'm not getting burned a third time. Good point, brother. Good point. Don't let him get you. Don't let him get you. And I just heard someone recently talking about shiny new stocks and how they're going to be dangled in front of us like carrots. Extremely careful and don't fall for that. And then 24 hours later, it was, let's go get them shiny carrots.
If I may add, Massalorian, BBIG is it might have spurned people on the short-term end of things, but if you go ahead and research the company really well and see like what's going on with the company, that company has something brewing and it has a really promising future. It just the fact that it did this spin-off thing with the Cryptide, and them being separated and Cryptide being logged on in the Delaware area, so it can be on the blockchain technology that state of Delaware offers. Something is huge brewing there. That's for sure. That's my just personal intake on BBIG. I'm really huge on it, but obviously at the end of the day, AMC, GameStop is the way. But BBIG is definitely it's not just two stocks, that are meme stocks. There's many plays going on, and BBIG, I would definitely put that in a section that has a very promising, fundamental, good future going forward.
Okay. All right. See, that's why I like switching it up, bringing other guys on who know things that I don't, or maybe Pantheon doesn't. AB's bringing some knowledge to the table. Thank you, bro. Boston Strong says that he lost over 1,000 on clothes thanks to not a YouTuber. Yeah, man, I hear you. A lot of people got crushed on that. I know. So just beware. Let me say this. Beware of anything you hear coming out of that man's mouth going forward, especially on any kind of zombie or penny stocks going forward. If you hear about them, just remember that the plan is for 3 or 4 days down the road, not that day or the next morning. Just go back and watch the videos. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Let's see here. Massalorian, I have a Discord server about AMC and trading with alerts 100% free and open to everyone. It's called Ape Life. Okay, Incognito. I'm going to write that down. On Discord. All right, man, I'll check it out. Where are you from in Mass, Incognito, by the way? Let's see. Someone said they got crushed by SPRT in here. AB, yeah.
Lou has
Yeah.
a video a couple hours ago labeled March or nothing. Never said what year. Damn it. That happens a lot, man. Happens a lot. Yeah, if you could just throw the year on there, it'd be huge. Huge, huge, huge. Let's see here. Oh, Pantheon. Yeah, I was gonna ask you what first of all, was that BC or AD? The Pantheon.
I believe it was AD.
AD,
Let me look
right?
that up.
I was gonna say, wasn't that built like after Augustus? Like maybe like Trajan somewhere in that area as far as Caesars go?
Yep. It was commissioned by
definitely
Emperor Trajan. Yep.
Trajan, really? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, I can't believe I remember that. All right, here. Some people are saying they got burned on Shiba in here. Oof. Let's see. Someone's saying HYMC is a pump and dump. Let's see.
125 AD. Yep.
125.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
125 AD.
I had to look that up. I couldn't remember. Too many numbers.
And Trajan commissioned it?
Yes, sir. Emperor Hadrian? No, Trajan. Yes. Anyhow, sorry. I'm
Okay.
not onto my
Hadrian
mindset's
did the
into
wall, right?
Yes.
Hadrian's got the wall, right?
My mind's all into AMC today. We'll
That's
we'll
okay.
jump back in. Yeah.
You don't want to you don't want to talk about Roman history, ancient Roman history? Come on, man. The barbarians are at the gates. We got to be talking. Let's see here. Oh, Lorna, good evening. I didn't see you in the chat. Lorna says, thoughts on GME's earnings tomorrow? Always a chance that they drop a bomb. So I only have a small position in GME. Pantheon doesn't own GME. So AB, you can take this. I know he spoke on it earlier, but he can repeat it, I guess, for someone if you don't mind. If you don't mind, AB.
Sure. I think, like I said, the move that happened before this earnings, like we actually, let me put it this way. We've seen as of late, especially with AMC and GameStop, every time they have an earnings, it's either that they don't move or they drop. But in this case, in this one, I feel like the drop happened before the earnings, and that could implicate that, you know, there's a run up just to take it back to where it dropped from. So like I think it dropped from the 128 to 130 range. So there could be some good, I mean, I expect their earnings to be a good beat, but in the same time, you know, how they've been manipulating the stock, no matter how those PRs come out. I do see it, you know, coming out good, but I think there must be a lot of play where they're going to play with people's emotions. If they see a 10, 12, 15, maybe 20% run up, a lot of people are going to jump in thinking this is it and jump in to play option chain and get crucified on that on that Friday, you know, just on the option chain. But as far as the play itself, regarding to the earnings, you know, you're waiting for a short squeeze. So you know, whether the PR is great or terrible, you know, you have a lot of indication into that stock, so you should not even worry much about as far as what comes out of that.
Okay. Good points. Good points. Lorne says GME runs, we run. Agreed. I think so. At least I think so. In my opinion, once one runs, they're all gonna run. Just you're gonna see the whole thing start to collapse, I think. House of Cards was a good term that Autobit used back a year ago when he was doing some of his DD after we ran up in January. House of Cards is like the perfect description. Stacia says, I'm not feeling it, but I want to believe, observing for now. What aren't you feeling, Stacia? Talk to us. David says, this may take a while, folks. Yeah, David, and some of us have already been in this play for over a year, so we're well aware of how long it could possibly take. We're definitely aware of that. Let's see. Question. Artie's got a question. R2, let's go, says, oh, well, hold on. Man, you guys are quick. I don't know how you guys type so fast. Question about GME AMC. Why do we talk GME with AMC, but GMA guys, don't want to be mentioned near that, want us to be mentioned near them. So, R2, I don't know where that hate comes from or if it's even really still existent. I thought Last time I was looking around, seemed like we were all on the same page as far as we all need the same things and everything is applying to both of us in the same manner as far as one stock benefiting the other if we're going to MOASS, when we're going to MOASS. So I never looked at it that way. I know there was a lot of hate back in the day, but have you guys kept up with that at all? Is there still like some division between AMC and GME apes right now? What's the deal?
Yeah, I see it when I start looking. I do stay in touch with GME. I do still see quite a bit of that. And what I understand is that GME was the first, it was the original, and we have been a distraction. And if we hadn't come along and we all bought into GME, then they feel like it would have all been dealt with by now. And I don't know about that. I mean, I think the thesis on AMC is pretty darn strong. I think it's pretty darn strong on GME too. I could have easily been a GME guy instead of an AMC guy. So that's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that sounds right. AB, do you want to add to that?
Just a little bit, but not much. Pantheon said it just straight. Yes, it is the GME have ran first. There are some people on the GME crowd that actually think that the fundamentals of AMC are way worse than GME in regards to the float and all that kind of stuff. But in the same, and then they like the fact that they have Ryan Cohen as the CEO or the chairman there at GME, then opposed to like how AMC and Adam Aron. But again, those points are nothing. I mean, when you're on the other side yelling at this and this side, it's besides the point. And when the time GME ran up, I mean, the thing was in the $300 and $400 range. The AMC people at that moment was their second best bet for the people that missed up on that run and they wanted to FOMO. The next best thing was AMC for them. But who knew that AMC was going to grow up to be this monster now? That could very well be much bigger than GME. Like
Right.
No one can say because no one knows the numbers behind the curtain, you know?
Right. Yep. Agreed. Agree with you, man. 100%. KYP says, what do you think of MULN? I have AMC and GME since 2021. And it looks like, yes. What do you guys think of MULN? Does anyone want to touch on that? I believe that's Mullen, the auto group. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could jump in with this one. I mean, I know that the company has been around for years, but it just fairly recently had its IPO. I remember when it had its IPO and it peaked somewhere around 12 or 13 bucks, somewhere around that area. Anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. And for the fall that it's in, remember the sector that it's in as well. There's so many leading companies in that realm, in my humble opinion, that will be going up before anything is looked at Mullen. It just has a lot ahead of it. It could be a great stock like for future long-term investment. And what I mean future as in like really long time, but as near term, market makers have their hands all over it, and you're at their mercy at this point.
Pantheon?
Now, if it's not AMC or AMC related, I have no interest in it.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad play, but
right.
And somebody
I agree. I agree with AB. They are way behind the 8-ball as far if you compare them to a lot of the other EV stocks that, in my opinion, would take off sooner than later. Where Mullen is a 5 to 10 year play, possibly. And I'm not saying to invest in any of these companies, but Neo's fundamentals are probably 10 times better than Mullen right now, and obviously, it's got the hell kicked out of it the last couple of months. So there's a lot of companies out there that have taken a beating in the last couple of months. That if you really want to buy the dip, forget about the penny stuff right now. Buy the dip on something that's legit, that's going to make you some money, that's going to have good numbers going forward. Instead of doing all this risky shit. That's how these guys got into this problem in the first place, right? They over-leveraged themselves. They overextended. They got risky. They took on more than they could chew, and they didn't see us coming, and they got caught with their pants down. I truly believe that. They just got way over-enthusiastic about what they were going to do to some of these brick-and-mortar stores once the pandemic hit us. And I think they're going to pay for it in the end. That's just my opinion, but that's what I think. Let's see here. Every stock from the EV sector has been tanking as of late, so they are more sure than the float, so buy at your own risk. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff, right? Good point. Good point, Jeff. Stacia says, honestly, I can't get a hold of it, but I did listen to trade today about Aron A. G-Mine. Okay. What do you mean, Stacia? You couldn't get a hold of what they're doing with it, with the mine itself? KVP says,
I'm working on a
Hey, Kevin,
video
something
about
else
the
on.
mine as well. That'll have quite a deep dive into it as well. That might help some people out.
Talking about this play?
Talking about the HYMC. Isn't that what she was mentioning?
Oh, yes,
Stacia?
HYMC.
About
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
What?
working on a deep dive video on that in super simplistic terms. So
By the way, did you get my message yesterday about helping you out?
yeah, I saw your text.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a jerk. I didn't.
No,
reply.
it's all good because I shut down last night pretty early. I had to get some sleep. Carlos says they need to get rid of the market maker system or it will never be a fair market. What do you guys think about that? About the market maker being this middleman?
I think it should be the SCC. That's just me speaking, you know.
What do you think, Pantheon?
We don't need market makers. The whole thing is absolutely absurd. And if they are going to allow market makers, then they absolutely cannot let the market makers also be hedge funds. It's, and then watch them become a bank next. I mean, the thing is just ridiculous. You don't go to New York to play the Yankees and have the Yankees also own the scorekeepers and the umpires and it's just, you don't do that, right? And you don't change the rules midstream. It's just, either market makers need to be abolished or they can stay, but you gotta separate them from hedge funds. You can't be on both sides of the equation. It's just too fud.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a conflict of interest. Hey, Mass, I got a couple of things to throw out. Breaking news, if you might say. Chris Bryant signed with the Colorado Rockies. 7 years,
Really?
182 million dollars, and Freddie Freeman signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. 6 years, 162 million. Get your kids to be baseball players, folks.
Wow. Is that the highest? That's not the highest contract in MLB history, right? Does A-Rod still hold that?
Yeah, A-Rod's still over 350 million for total value.
But
Yeah,
still,
that's good money.
that's a nice.
Why
It's a nice payday.
Why Chris Bryant went to Colorado of all places makes no sense. Anyhow,
Yeah,
back to
why?
AMC.
Yeah, I mean, we could have used him in Boston. Shit. Mardiman says we don't need a middleman. Agreed. Man, that's a lot of money they just got for those two guys. Shit, that's a lot of money. Horatio says and be able to cheat. Right. Lorna, you're welcome, man.
And like even bigger, like getting rid of the market makers, is that even going to fix it when the bigger problem is these people spending the money in Congress? Like, you know what I mean? It's all these special interest groups. And at the end of the day, like the markets as they are created don't make sense, but they could work if they were actually enforcing the rules that are there. And there's too much incentive for people to not do that. So you got to start at the top, right? Like I'm sorry, but like dark pools and the market maker, that's not the top. You got to start at the top and fix this thing.
Do you think that's starting to sink in for some people? That fact?
I don't.
I don't
feel
either.
like
I don't think people are getting it.
I feel like the stuff we talk about must be out there for everybody. Then you realize there's so many people out there that have absolutely no clue what's going on.
Yeah. It's just like sometimes I feel like when Jon Stewart's interviewing what's his name the other day there, the guy from Wall Street Journal, and the guy from Wall Street Journal says, Gary Gensler's hands are tied. I think that sometimes maybe that just goes over people's heads, but like that's legit the answer, right? Like the reason Gary Gensler hasn't done shit is because he don't want to do nothing. Because he's got people to answer to and he wants to keep his job and his rides to work every day and his benefits and his pension and his speaking fees for Goldman Sachs and what he's going to do after he's not commissioner of the SEC anymore and he wants to make more money. I think a lot of people are missing that point, and it's unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do about it, right? You can just keep saying it over and over till you're blue in the face. But I think that's getting think that point's getting missed sometimes. Let's see here. The SEC, Lorne says, the SEC just sounded the sirens to brokers. I am trying to remember how long before the June run-up they did the same thing. I want to say that was like late March, early April. Do you guys remember when that was? That they did that? They
the timing on that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't remember either. Now it was over
that's
a year
worth
ago.
looking into, though. I will
Yeah.
make a note of that, Lauren.
Yeah. Yeah. When did the SEC make that announcement? Monday or yeah, Monday, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, about third-party counter risk, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Samira says, I think a lot of people don't know about the manipulation going on in the market. Someone needs to get on one of these big platforms and just blast them. Yeah, man, I would love to get like 2 or 3 guys to go on a big platform to talk. Like the trade when he went on Fox, but like those days are over, right? And Matt Core's going on there, like, and Keenan got on there, and a lot of guys got on there, and it was really great to have them all on. And they definitely got our message out there, right? I mean, they were asked direct questions. They answered them, and they put a little spin on it and their take on it. And I think they did a decent job back then representing retail. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me or disagree?
Go ahead, AB.
Honestly, I think that the bigger platforms have, they've done what they could. I guess at that time there wasn't a lot that was, shown to us. Like we said earlier, that we've learned a lot throughout this journey. A lot of things that were kept in the dark that we didn't even know just a few months ago. We know so much more now. I think at that time these guys could have utilized their platforms to do a little more. Help to the community. Now, as far as when they went on television, with Max Payne and those guys, most of the times these things are scripted and you have to stay within a certain lane, like the questions are already rehearsed and stuff like that. So I don't see them doing much, help there, but they could have done so much more throughout their platforms themselves then. And I think that's where it is. But at the end of the day, it's the players that we're heading against. Those are the ones who dictate when this whole play comes to an end and when it starts running up, no matter who says what and what happens. That's just my humble opinion.
Agreed. Pantheon? We lost him. Let's see. Samira says, Mash, you should get on with CNN. A lot of folks watch CNN. Those folks don't play when it comes to dropping a bombshell on the people in the big lanes.
I missed that.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yep. We got you. Yes, we can hear you. We might have lost him. Yeah, I don't know where he went. Samira, hang on. Audio freezing up. Need a minute. Okay, take your time, man. We'll switch over. And we'll do this. Boom. So Samira, I'm going to tell you something. I just watched a clip from 2018 from CNN, and Wolf Blitzer was talking with, I can't remember who he was talking with now. I just saw it before I came on. And he was talking about the war. And the guy that he was interviewing, damn it, I need to get the details on this. I'm not going to tell this story because I don't know the details. But I have some issues with CNN, Samira. That's all I'll say on that. But you know what? If I get on there to talk about AMC, I would. I don't give a shit what network it is. Just give me some airtime. I'll make it worth their while. Let's see. Richard says CNN is FUD. Mardiman says we dictate by not selling. Exactly. And Big B says I have AMC and GME. Me too, bro. So just me and you, I guess, are the only two AB that have GME still in there. Well, not that these guys sold, but they just don't have any shares in GME. I don't have a bunch of shares in GME. My AMC position is bigger.
It's tough. It's tough to get into GME, especially at this time now. Most people that took positions in AMC have done it, and you know the money, how it's not as fluid, or liquidity is not around on both sides, whether it's institutional or retail. And to go ahead and try to open a profitable position on GME by buying 100, at least 100 or 200 shares, you're talking, a good amount of capital for that. So you look to the other side and you see AMC at this lucrative price and all the influence behind it. So you're like, you know what? I can make more money with my buck going here instead. So that's the only reason why. But as far as the GME, I know that the crowd there are sole believers, like in it, like a religion almost, So
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah.
They're good. And AMC is good. We'll see how it takes off.
Yep. I mean, GME, they were holding strong because they were still rising when they pulled that effery on us. So those guys had it down pat. They were gonna run. Man, I just would have loved to have seen what that price could have gone to. I just can only imagine.
Robinhood couldn't pay for it.
No, I know. It just you think back to it and you're like, man, just imagine what would have happened if they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
I remember.
What would we have seen?
Yeah,
What
I
kind of
remember
numbers would we have seen?
Dude, I remember the guys at that time that were putting up on their Reddit, forums, and this was before any hijacking from bots happened to Reddit. But in that early time of the movement, I mean, people putting up 20, 30, 40, and crazy numbers, million, in gains that they've incurred playing options and stocks, and after that, everything just went crazy. So yeah, shout out to GME because it gave it was the first foot in the door for the rest of the movement.
Mm-hmm. Hayden J. Real Estate says, guys, Ken Griffin major contributions are to the right. Recognize that both parties are at fault. I keep hearing so much about the left is at fault. Let's not make the mistake of ignoring it. So Hayden, the only thing I would say to that is right now the left is in power, right? So Gary Gensler's answering to the majority right now, which are Democrats. They have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So right now, there's only one administration we can blame for this because they are in the position of power right now to fix something. So we got to turn to them right now. The only person we can blame is the left. Now, if this was happening in 2019, different story, right? We got different Congress, different president, and we can start pointing the fingers in other directions. But right now, as far as today goes, Gary Gensler was put in place by who? Joe Biden. And listen, I don't like either party. I think they both suck. I think they dropped the concerns of the constituents a long time ago. I don't think they represent us at all. That's why I'm, trying to push to try to get some asses changed out of these seats. They don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, when I saw Massalorian, like when I saw the chart of the congressmen that were involved in the insider trading list, it did not look like it's just one party and not the other. Both sides,
half red, half blue.
So, yeah, like everybody was guilty. It's like they were all sitting next to each other playing bingo and saying, "Hey, okay, this is what we're gonna do." And that's terrible that congressmen are allowed to do trades when you're making the rules and ahead of time. So yeah, both sides were equivalently on it.
Yeah, I got no side. I got no dog in the fight as far as we go with Republican and Democrat. I think they all suck. My thing is like more fresh blood, like new blood. That just like the senator there who took over for Biden when Biden became VP, he was the only guy that stood up and tried to get some legislation passed and hold those guys accountable for what they did back in 2008. And we need a fresh stream of people like that who are beholden to no one, who can come in and say, all right, we're cleaning this shit up today. Here's some legislation we're going to pass. Because that's the only way we're going to get anything done. As long as the people in power are profiting more than they are worried about them losing their seat, this will not be fixed. We have to threaten them.
Indeed.
Not with physical harm, with our vote. No matter what side it is, pick your candidate and say, this is what we want. We want this fixed. And if not, in 2 years, you're coming back. We'll pull your ass right out. All right, hold on. Pantheon's back. How's your audio, bro? Yeah, term limits is right. Pantheon? Still no audio yet. All right. When he's ready, we'll hear him come in. Let's see. Who's your proud says Mash fresh flow won't work with the deep state in control. Then we're in trouble. Who's your proud? The best
I like that
side is
show.
what's that?
That show, Deep State. I don't know if you've watched it, but both
No.
seasons, I liked it.
Is it docu series or it's fictional?
Fictional. It's kind of like
Okay.
2 seasons, and it's pretty good. It kind of, just like the name and the title, Deep State.
Okay. All right. And what channel is it on? It's on cable?
I forgot, but it's been out for a while. I think the second season came out in 2017 or 18.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they stopped it then. But some good quality actors in it, and it speaks a lot more about the corruption inside the government for sure.
Yep. Truth. Pantheon, you there? Let's see. We make up a good size of the voting block. Let's do it. Yeah. So Hayden's J Real Estate. I've already talked about this a couple times on the streams. There's someone I'm working with up here who's trying to get into Congress, and I'm trying to get her in. She's been on a couple big podcasts before. She's got a big podcast coming up. She's going to be a guest speaker at a lot of places. She would make history if she gets in, and I've met her personally on more than one occasion, spoken with her, told her what our demands are and what we're looking to do. And I told her I would help her with her campaign if she would help retail. So that's something I'm doing on my own. That doesn't involve the rest of the community. I'm just doing this to help her. And that way I don't let anyone down if it doesn't come through. It's just my time wasted, not yours.
We appreciate your effort, Massalorian. I mean, that's amazing. Just the fact
Let's see how it works out. She's gonna come on and do a live stream with us in a couple weeks, and we'll see how it goes. Pantheon, you back?
Yeah, let's see if I get strike 3. Can you hear me?
Okay. We got you.
Man.
We got you back. Back. Thank you.
The internet cut out. I looked out the window. I swear I saw that little Charles Gasparino running across the street with some clippers.
He probably ripped out your cord. Yeah, probably did.
He was trying to silence me.
Incognito says, Massalorian, look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a freshman congresswoman, insider trading. Eileen Wright, they can get in and ever bought. I've already sent her multiple emails, Incognito. Let's see. Someone's saying our votes don't matter, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. NR the Clutch says there's only one person who can change the world, mainly the hearts and minds of men, and none of us is him. Good point. NR the Clutch, good point. Bonnie B says, forget the gold mine. We are holding AMC. Yes. Yeah, that's my gold mine. That to me is just like a little blip on the radar. I mean, we some of us did videos about it because it's news and it's got to be brought up for AMC, right? We got to understand what the fundamentals of our play are. We're all shareholders. This is our company. But I hope we didn't overblow it too much. Hayden says all inside trade. Yeah, just a simple bill like that Congress can't trade anymore. They can't trade on inside information. Let's get that passed first, and then we can move on from that. Let's see. Yep, Ape Coinman, Diamond Hands Theater and Gaming, Corey says. Someone is saying, Mike says, I am not American. Live across from Detroit. I'm assuming in Windsor. And it makes me sick how Wall Street is destroying the U.S. Mike, it makes us sick too, bro. Trust me. All the shit that we found out, it's upsetting. OKC fan, great comment. OKC fan, you're getting shout outs here. Let's see. Liz says no stock trading should be allowed by politicians. Agreed, Liz. Agreed. Thing is, how are we going to get that changed? I know they're talking about it right now, and I believe Pantheon AB, maybe you guys can back me up on this. Aren't they? Was there something on the SEC regs about a rule change for insider trading for Congress?
I know that there is, and it's in the works, but it looks like there's no definitive time as far as from what I've seen. Maybe Pantheon can add more to it. There wasn't any specific time when they will go in effect. I mean, it could be by 2023 or something like that before it goes into effect. But yes, there is actually.
There was the Stock Act, right? That Nancy's mulling over right now, if she's going to allow it to come back into play. Is that right, Pantheon?
I have to look more into that. I'm making a note
Okay.
right now.
Stacia is saying Massalorian, yes. I trust Stacia. Let's see. Corey says Windsor. I is a Newfoundland, Canadian coast to coast. If you're across from Detroit, though, you wouldn't be in Newfoundland, Corey, would you? You'd be in Windsor, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Stacy said she looked into it. Okay. Let's see. Peace Love says we should throw poop at hunch fund trucks. They won't like that. Now that's a DD take right there. Hell yeah.
That's an ape move right there.
Yes, that is an ape move. That will trigger the MOASS. Some shit on your face. Mike says, yeah, Windsor. Okay, I thought so, yeah. Let's see. Well, considering newest rules versus 2008, Eric says, via SEC, guess how long will until politicians can't trade? Let's see. Someone saying GME and AMC just merged together. Catalyst, play games on AMC big screen. Yeah, Bonnie, they brought that up to AA before. I know a bunch of people were talking about doing competitions. And I even mentioned, I think when I went to go see Black Widow back when it came out in whatever it was, August or July or June, that they actually had a promotion for that about renting out the theater and doing video games on the screens. Let's see. Apes vs. Wall Street says, Massalorian, I think Deep State is on YouTube or Netflix. Okay. I have both, so I guess I can check that. Steve M says, what would happen if retail decided to leave the market? Who wants to comment on that? Do you know that in the first 2 months of 2022, retail's infused more capital into the market than the whole year of 2021? Do you guys know that?
Well, and since COVID hit, we've infused more money in, what wasn't that on Jon Stewart? We've infused more money than the last like 18 years. I mean, like,
is that true?
The numbers are, so I think it was Jon Stewart. Somebody had a video out on that recently. It's staggering to see the amount of money that's come in from us. And AMC Bigham's does a bit of a dive into how our class structures have been abused over the years. And once they've bled out one class, there's nowhere to go except the next lower class. And he broke that down quite brilliantly. That like the middle class is no longer
there is no
really
lower class,
right? And so
now
they're trying to turn the middle class and the lower class, who's now merged into one weird class. They're trying to get us to start going after the rich, right? And so it's I don't want to repeat Bigham's stuff. He could do it far greater than I did, but it was an interesting bridge.
Yep.
Anyhow.
And Nate the Great 83 says, this is why the Fed needs to be abolished. Agreed. Agreed. The Fed is as crooked as they come, man. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Pantheon,
don't forget to use
I heard you?
Yeah. No, I'm looking at the screen there. So for Corey Ryder, don't forget to use your ortho command. I live and die by that. He'll get it.
Okay. That's got to be an Insider Canuck thing, right?
That's a AutoCAD thing. He'll get it.
Okay. Incognito says, that's the only other way to fix the system is for all retail to pull out the retirements and cash out the fraud. So I said that earlier in the cast, right? Incognito, I was saying, if somehow they frack us out of this money, I'm pulling every single dollar I have out of the market, washing my hands of it forever. Done. So I don't know if they can afford to F us over. Here's my thinking on it. And obviously I don't own a hedge fund, but my thinking would be, there's a lot of people in this play right now who are still learning or have no idea what they're doing. There's a better chance the sooner I get this over with, the faster they will reinvest their money and I can take advantage of them again. That would be my thinking. What do you guys think about that?
What's the statistic? Something like 70% of lottery winners go broke in 2 to 3 years after they win, right? So, like, the point being, people don't know how to manage money. We're not taught that in school, how to manage money. We just sort of have to have either family members who understand it and share that with us, or we learn the hard way, which a lot of people go through. You know, they get credit cards and overextend themselves and realize credit is amazing, but it can be disastrous. And so, you know, are they waiting for, they're very smart, these hedge funds. Are they waiting for us for the next play to catch us? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying that there isn't a next play. Just be careful.
Yeah,
And
watch
when
out for shiny
someone,
new stocks.
right, and if someone's going to say, and this isn't directed to anyone, but if someone's going to say move on to the next play, but I'm not going to be in it, you really need to
They're in
question
it.
that.
They're in
Yeah.
it. Expect the unexpected that they're in it. Go ahead, AB.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Pantheon and you on this point. Now, of course, they can't live and survive in this market conditions without retail, because clearly we are a big chunk of this whole market. But the problem is that we have, guys, is the winner normally tells the story or tells the tales. And as one thing we do know, that they own majority of the media and they write whatever they want. I feel like throughout this journey, what they've been doing is training people to become like gamblers, and thinking that the stock market is a gamble from a gambler's approach. And hey, if you lost on this one, come back to the next one. It's pretty cynical, but at the end of the day, I feel like if they screw people over in retail on these two plays or these meme stock plays, and with all the eyes on these plays, then it's definitely going to be really bad for the whole economy and the stock market in general. So this is not something I feel like they could let roll down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Yep, Pantheon, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think that's a good point to leave that item on.
Okay, guys, we're gonna probably go like another 15 minutes. It is 12:45 here on the East Coast, so that will be on our 4th hour rolling up. So if you guys want to get in any questions in the next 15 minutes that you want anyone on the panel to answer, get them up so I can make sure I get you in. I don't want you to be on this live stream the whole time and not have your question answered. Trying to get to everybody. Kiwi Girl says, I don't see that happening for the retail investors in this play. Whoa, where is everybody? I don't see that happening for the retail investors in this play because all the DD and information we have had for the last year has set us up for the future. Good point, Kiwi Girl. Good point.
That is a good point. That is a good point. You know, we've held onto this thing a lot longer than any of us would think, but the amount of knowledge and information that training that we've had over the last 13, 14 months, you wouldn't get in any other 13, 14 month time stretch. You
No.
know, we have
No
been
way.
we've been in like overdrive, super fast, plug into the matrix learning type of information. And quite frankly, all these disappointments we've gone through, for those still on the play, we're just that much harder now, right? Like, we're diamonds. So
Yeah.
I feel like they think they're messing with us, and people are clearly getting tired of this play. I would like to be out of the play too, but I ain't going anywhere until this thing squeezes. Hell no.
I agree. Julie's making a great point. Did anyone, Stacia says, did anyone listen to Lion Trader today? No, but a bunch of people mentioned it, Stacia, to go watch this video from today. So I'm going to do that as soon as we hang up. J-Boy says, can we trust AA? So let me just say this. My opinion on AA has changed from day to day, right? But since Pantheon's breakdown on that video, and we had talked about it before, a couple days before he had actually made the video. We had talked about some of the things that were going on that he was finding out. My opinion on him's changed a little bit since then. I have a little more faith in him. And look, he's done an excellent job everywhere he's ever been. He's never been unsuccessful. He's never done anything to take a company in the wrong direction. And he's pulled AMC up from the brink of bankruptcy. So As far as him doing his job as CEO of AMC, I'm extremely pleased with the job he's done so far. And since I have a large position in AMC, that's good for us. As far as the squeeze goes, that's a different story. All different kinds of moves that he's made have been good and bad for us. You got to take them both, right? And you guys can go ahead and add to that.
Yeah, I'll jump
I
in.
personally, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Ben.
go ahead. Go ahead. Nope, it's all you, AB.
Appreciate you, brother. Personally, for me, I'm in a way similar to Massalorian. Like, my opinion has been going back and forth on him. One thing I do have a big issue with is that in the most crucial times that you know, we've personally, as the owners of the company at this point, as we are AMC investors, we own majority of the float. In crucial times, there were things that happened as far as board selling and dropping at crucial times that prevented previous run-ups that we could have had in the stock itself. So, I mean, that could be, according to you, Massalorian, that could be good for the company, but not good for the squeeze. But at the end of the day, he's got a job and he's got to run his job, you know, and his job is to run this company. So the only way I see it, him being satisfying everyone else, is perhaps doing another interview. This time, maybe not with Trey, maybe with us, with all of us. Maybe we can be the voice of the community straight to him, and who knows, maybe something.
Okay, you broke up at the very end there. The last sentence you just said broke up really hardcore.
Did you hear the part that I said that, you know, maybe he can create another interview, and that interview could be with us, with our channels, instead of with Trey's trade.
Yep.
Maybe something could come off of that.
Yep. So CSI had talked about that. He wants to do that, right? He wants to get a town hall with Aron. And he was working on trying to reach out to him. And I know he asked me if I could reach out to Aron's sons, which I did, or one of them at least, on Twitter, I believe. But I could be wrong on that. But yeah, that's something that he's definitely talked about a lot. And, you know, if we could get that from him, it would be awesome. It's just a matter of getting that.
Yeah.
I want to bring up this question real quick. And then, Pantheon, you can go. I'm sorry, but I want to, before I miss it. Edward says, in my eyes, Mass, we saved the company from going bankrupt, or am I wrong? So all I want to say to that is, and then I'm going to let Pantheon take that question. We did to an extent, right? But the original investment that they got, and this is really broken down well in Pantheon's video, that original infusion of cash they needed to save them from bankruptcy back at the end of 2020 came from Mudrick, right? Mudrick kind of gave them that boost to push them over into 2021. And then that's where we came in retail and took them the next level, right? We took them the next step forward in the process of becoming profitable again. And Pantheon, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been as critical on AA as anybody. And a lot of the things I tell my wife I don't necessarily put on videos, right? AA and the executives, when AMC's doors were shut and they were bleeding, you know, they didn't have a choice but to issue shares. Yes, AA and the executive board sold shares of AMC to get cash to keep the doors going. That is a true statement. And yes, he definitely avoided the poison cyanide pill that would have been Apollo by taking their money in that situation.
Right.
However, you know, I'm going to just be fair, because, you know, while we got into Q4 earnings of 2020, so spring, or, you know, February, March of 2021, they did, the week before the earnings call, reward themselves with bonuses, get patting themselves on the back. The executive board, sorry, I shouldn't use pronouns. The executive board gave themselves bonuses, right? While we were there propping the stock up. And so, yes, they did acquire cash through selling a ton of shares for very little dollars per price. Sorry, I'm fumbling here, but they did
You're
that
good.
in 2020. That's true. But if we hadn't come along, I don't know if AMC would be there today. There's only, you know, so many shares that they would have been selling at sub $1. You know, and so did AA get enough money to keep things going? Yes. Did he save the company? Absolutely. In my opinion, we saved this company. And AA's job is, as much as he says, you know, he's for the apes and they call him the silverback, and I am not against AA, guys, but he is this. You've heard this a million times. He's the CEO of the company. He's not the CEO of the squeeze. So his job is to make this company profitable, because we don't know when the squeeze is going to take place. So until it takes place, I want the fundamentals of this company to improve. I want them to make profits. I want them to have zero short thesis that makes any sense. And that'll happen by popcorn selling. And we're getting there through all these innovative ideas they're coming up with, which they've listening to. And a lot of those ideas are coming from the ape community, right? He even acknowledges that. So, you know, I don't know if we get the respect necessarily that I believe that we deserve. He likes to say, well, we got the money before, and they did stack up a bunch of cash before, but they've also done pretty stupid things like sell a boatload of shares at $9.90 when everyone knew we were on the verge of something happening, and something did happen. And yes, they did drop shares as we went up, you know, but that's to get the money for the company. Now we're sitting on $1.8 billion of cash. We're having killer movies come out. The 2022 year is stacked. I'm taking a lot longer on this than I wanted. There's no reason for him to issue any more shares at this point. There's no need for them to say, we need more money. We've got it, and we're making profits, and they need to start paying down debt, right? So I think that AA is doing a good job as CEO of AMC, but that doesn't mean that he's doing a good job helping us with a MOASS, which quite frankly is not his job. And if people can separate those two things, you know, you've also got to remember Sun Tzu, the art of war, right? Know the enemy and all that jazz, but you go to war with the army you've got, not the army you want. AA's our CEO. If we get rid of AA, or if AA moves on, who's going to take his spot? And is that person going to give a crap about us? That's a dangerous game to play. So he's my CEO. You go to war with the army you got, not the army you want.
Yeah, he is the only option right now. There is no second choice. So get used to it, guys. He's not going anywhere until I think we can become profitable again. And then he's probably going to pass it on to someone younger that can take it the next step into the future with wherever AMC is going, with whatever their plans are going forward. And like Pantheon just said, there's a ton of blockbusters coming out this year, and there'll be more coming on down the line. I mean, they've signed off on projects. You know, this Batman series is going to have 2 more movies to it. Dune's going to have 2 to 3 more movies with it. And we'll probably have a way better box office when it's not released on HBO Max. At the same time, that 45-day window is going to bring in a lot more revenue for the company this year. You add on the popcorn sales. If they release a crypto coin, just look at all the things that he is doing, guys. Try to focus on the positive. And I know a lot of it sucked so far, but there are some things that he is doing that are helping us along the way and keeping us fundamentally sound as we work towards profitability again. All right, guys, a couple more questions, and then we're going to dip out of here. Let's see. Since I've been in this, AA hasn't stopped trying to make AMC AA's fundamentals. J Beeps 1 says, let's see. Julie says, Tony is here. Tony's back in the chat, right? I've never seen a man on so many live streams on vacation before in my life. Crazy. Let's see. Carl J. Pam saying, enjoy your vacation, Tony. Does anybody else have any questions before we sign off here? Just make sure I didn't miss anything in the last couple seconds. Oh, wait. I found one. Julie has one. Julie says, hello. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Husband's question. Does Nancy Pelosi's husband still have 564,000 shares or roughly that? Does anyone know that in the chat or on the live?
I haven't looked that up just in recent days, but to the last of my knowledge, yes. And I can validate that for the next time we chat as a follow-up.
Yeah, Julie, we'll look into that and find out for you.
Same.
Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, she's been doing well for herself. Nancy's number 6 overall in 2021, beating the S&P.
She must be like the shorty in hedge funds of what she's reporting. She must not be reporting.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah,
Warren
make sure you
Buffett
add that.
Warren Buffett needs to take some tips from her.
Right? I know, right? I know. She was crushing it. Did you saw that thing I put up in my video, right? With all the different senators there who had made money?
Yeah.
Insane. All beat the S&P by like 20, 30%. It's nuts. Martin,
I like the point you made that it's both,
Yes.
It's not
it is.
partisan.
Yeah, it's half and half. Yeah, it's not bipartisan. No, it is bipartisan. They're all in it, right? It's funny when they all now that the wars come up, they're all on the same page about this. There is nobody is taking a step back to look at who we're fighting right now. It's just war, fun, missiles, tanks, get it over there, build it, ship it. It's nuts.
Yeah, they're all in the wrong sector. They should be in the market sector instead of the Congress sector.
Instead of Congress. Yeah, I know, right? They're all picking winners somehow. Martiman says AMC just bought a silver and gold mine and people are focused on popcorn sales. Martiman, we're probably going to see more revenue from popcorn sales in the next 8 to 10 months than we will from the gold mine. Just keep that in the back of your head.
Is that because I said popcorn sales in my last rant? I probably spent 30 minutes talking about the silver and gold mine earlier.
Yeah,
in this
we
stream,
spent a long time of it.
So, we talked about it.
Martiman, I did not realize they could not print Morgan silver dollars for what, 2022 circulation? Because they can't get silver?
Wow.
Tony already just asked my question. What were our money first, popcorn or gold? I'm going to say popcorn. I'll take a stab.
Popcorn will be in store in September
right.
Yeah, September this year. We'll have popcorn in the stores ready to go. So
if we pull an ounce of gold out of the earth
out by September, they've got a whole 2020 time frame set up.
Yep. Oh man. All right, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. What time is it? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. We've been going for 4 hours, and that seems to be about my limitations right now in this market. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we go?
To do 6-hour live stream.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, do you remember the days we used? You need some stamina. Get this man a Red Bull.
I know. I have. This one's done. I mean, this is like a 20 ounce. I already killed that on the walk in. Just getting to the mic. Mike says no gold till 2027. Everyone's saying popcorn first. So I guess that's what we're. Every time I'm on this, I always see a shadow coming out in my doorway, and it's starting to freak me out. All right, let's wrap this up. Pam's ready to drive home. Mr. Simon, good night. Guys, thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for answering each other's questions. Thank you to my modders, Javi, Pam, Liz, who were in the chat tonight. AB, Pantheon, do you guys want to sign off before just give everyone, your info, your channel, and all that?
Go ahead, AB.
I've had the pleasure to be with you guys throughout the night tonight. All this community is amazing. All the guys and the people that are in this channel are very, 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 very supportive and great questions, by the way. Wow. The time flew by so fast that I couldn't even feel that it was, 3+ hours. So once again, guys, hopefully I didn't bother or, offend anyone on this. So again, my name is AB and the channel name is AB_investments. And besides that, much love.
Pantheon?
Yep, I would say everyone please go to AB Investments channel, give him a sub, check out his work. He's doing some really great stuff. That's why he's here with us. He's a good one. And make sure you give a thumbs up to this live stream from the Massalorian. Give him a sub. He's on his way cranking to 5,000, so he can do a big celebration. We'll do a Pantheon prize when you hit 5,000 subs, Mr. Massalorian. I'm going to be dishing out these Pantheon prizes. And other than that, thanks everyone for your questions and comments tonight. You guys take.
Yep. And thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to CSI who came in the chats, Tony Denaro, as always, and thanks for the video earlier. All you guys made some great comments tonight, great questions. Everyone kept it like pretty even in the chat. No one got out of line. My modders did an awesome job as always. And I appreciate all of you guys who stopped by tonight. Don't forget, we are here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm going to bed.